Okay, and here we are into our second match of the night. We now have DPS versus large-scale Disparity. DPS taking a very convincing 2-0 victory in our first match at 6 p.m. EST versus Frostlines. A very, very, very convincing 2-0 victory if you get a chance. If you got a chance to see that, that was a very great win for them. And like I was saying, I feel like this is just playoff form for DPS. If you saw DPS in previous season, they always kind of come here into the Gauntlet. Their regular season, like, may not be so good. They probably dropped a lot of games. I think last time we saw them, they were the 6th seed. This season, they're coming in as the 7th seed into the first day of the Gauntlets and still absolutely dominating. They did not look like a 7th seed in that first match, absolutely dominating Frost Lions. So we're coming here into our to the picks and bans here against Let's Go Disparity. Let's Go Disparity being the 6th seed. They had the side selected. They chose red for game 1, and we're going to see the Ivern is going to be picked again for DPS. That's probably Ivern mid. We just saw Quaker have an absolutely fantastic game on Ivern mid in that game 1, and we've seen him do it earlier in the season as well. And Let's Go Disparity is going to pick up the Dredge line, the Nautilus, and the Vi Jungle. I am back once again for the Chase Supremacy. Yeah, Chase, Charybdis, the support from DPS doing it, like, was playing that Nautilus and doing some crazy things. But of course, Nautilus is not going to be available here because they're playing against Let's Go Disparity. And we all know the Let's Go Disparity's support, the Judge line, is a Nautilus one-trick. And if he gets a chance to pick Nautilus, probably going to pick Nautilus. Especially since they banned out the Maokai, another pick that we saw that he liked to play. And here we go for the second set of picks here for DPS. We're going to see the Tristana. The Tristana, kind of a UBC Your Bad Connection classic. We've seen him play Tristana many, many times over the year. I love to see that Tristana. I love to see how they kind of abuse Tristana's ability to really push a lane fast. And they like to take down the turret and then rotate that bot lane to a different lane so they can try to pressure down the turret. I love to see that. So Tristana, classic. Another classic scaling and see Bel'Veth. Bel'Veth here, selected by DPS. We haven't seen much I'm not sure if we've seen a single Bel'Veth this season. I could be wrong. I have to go back to the match results. I don't think we've seen a single Bel'Veth this season, so that's going to be very interesting. Bel'Veth, especially for black play, and that's going to be the Draven! The Draven for Draven Me Crazy, aka Fish Guy 177. That's going to be the Draven and the Nautilus bot lane for Let's Go Disparity. Let's Go Disparity pulling no punches here, as this is the Gauntlet match. This is the knockout round. Whoever the winner of this match will be moving on. The loser will be going home. So they're gonna break both of their one tricks, right? The Draven for Fish Guy 177 and the Nautilus for the Dredge line. But DPS did an extensive amount of research. If you know anything about UBC, about David, the team captain, and the ADC for DPS, know that he does his research before every single match. So this Nautilus and Draven, if they let it through, then it was planned to be let through. It wasn't just like a miss. They didn't just miss the fact, oh, these guys really like to play these champions. No, no, no. It was definitely intentional if they ended up getting those champions. So DPS probably has either they have a strategy, they have a plan, or they are simply not scared of the Nautilus and the Draven. We'll see how that works out for them. We're going to see the Braum and the Luli get banned out here. That's right. They haven't picked their support yet. So banning out some support picks makes sense for Let's Go Disparity. We're going to see the Skarner get banned out as well. Skarner has been like very hit and miss for me. I think the first Skarner we saw by Frostlines didn't do so well, but I think we did see another Skarner that did do well since his rework. So I guess maybe it's a fair ban. And it's going to be the Ahri banned away from DPS. DPS banning out the Ahri and the Cass and leaving up the Katarina, but banning out the some mid laners from Sweetwind. Sweetwind has been, of course, we were talking about that whenever we did the power rankings earlier, talking about some of the let's talk about some of the MVPs in the mid lane. We're talking about how Sweetwind typically tends to be pretty feast or famine. We've seen him pop off very heavily on the Cassidy and pop off very heavily on the Katarina, but then whenever he plays some of the more made, some of the less aggressive supports, we also saw him play well on Jace. But whoa, okay, we got a scaling mid? A scaling mid here from Sweetwind? That is, I mean, we saw him play the Cassin, but Ace Solo is just a whole different type of mid lane champion compared to like the Kassadin, the Katarina, the Jace, like the type of champions that we typically see Sweetwind play. So very interested to see how that works out for them. But I mean, Aurelion Sol is a fantastic pick. Great scaling mid laner. I love control mages personally. Mages that are able to just do a lot with the a lot in team fights, that provide some CC, that provide some scaling. I think Aurelion Sol has been a fantastic pick since his rework. Personally, I don't like the Aurelion Sol rework because if you look me up, I was a big A-Sol player back in like season 7 through 9, and I loved the old A-Sol, and that A-Sol is completely different than the current one. So I like can't even play the current one. It makes me so sad. It's just so different. I want my stars that go around me and my circles and stuff, but it's been taken out the game. We're going to see Mordekaiser and Leona picked up here by DPS. Leona, very aggressive support here from DPS. We're going to have the Tristana Leona bot lane versus Nautilus and Draven. We're going to have some entertainment in the bot lane. Something's going to happen in the bot lane for sure. And you're going to see the Mordekaiser gets picked up for the top lane for DPS. Okay. Mordekaiser has been very good this BTL season. We've seen some incredible Mordekaiser play from multiple different teams, and that's a Warwick top lane? Warwick top? Hey, best anime? Warwick top from back in the day? There used to be a player in BTL. This is BTL season 7, so like circa fall 2019. There was a player for the team that actually ended up winning the championship. This was Maria's Dungeon season 7. Who's drafted for DPS? They're cooking good. Hey, you ready? I already told you, man. UBC. Your bad connection, man. The drafts are very, very serious. They know what they're doing. We are good to go. Yeah, man. DPS drafts are very solid. If you saw them in that first series, their drafts were incredible. I'm telling you, they prepare. Playoff DPS is a very real thing. That's like playoff Jimmy if you watch the Miami Heat. Like playoff Spo. Like they be popping off. Ready. That's it. If I'm ready, we should be ready to move to the client draft here soon. No, I thought I was showing y'all the wrong thing this whole time. I looked at my other screen. I was like, whoa, was I not showing the draft? All right, here we go. Ignore this being off center. Pretend that it's not. Because before, it wasn't going to be me. I don't know where Stevie went. Stevie was supposed to join me. He's supposed to be here for his team. But he's not here right now. This is literally Stevie's team. He was here casting with me earlier today. And I don't know where he is. He said he'd be back. But he also said he may be busy, so perhaps he's busy. The Warwick and Jordan and me like skill disparity draft with DPS diff. Wait, Jordan, why don't you come cast with me? But it's a little bit too late unless you can. Wouldn't that be crazy if Jordan came and cast with me, chat? Casted for her own team. I wouldn't expect it though. But yeah, Warwick top, man. I love the spice. I love to see the spice. I was really disappointed from the potential spice that we saw from Frostlines earlier. Whenever we saw the Zilean drafted along with the Set and the Yone, I was like, wait, what's this top side? We were thinking maybe double top, something like that. We thought maybe it'd be Set top with Zilean jungle and Yone mid, and Zilean just stays in Set's lane. It's not what happened. It wasn't nearly that spicy, but we were hoping for it. But yeah, we are going to in fact get the Warwick top, and that is going to be the Ivern mid yet again from Quicker. Hey yo, this Ivern mid thing is ridiculous. Ridiculous how effective it has been. Like, it sounds like it shouldn't work. It sounds so troll. Like, I don't know, is anyone else, like, if I go to op.gg right now and I look up Ivern, does he have play rate in the mid lane? Or is this just a Quaggart thing specifically? Like, do people actually play this? Is this real? Is this just him? Is he just him? Like, I need to know. Ivern, jungle one, only jungle. There is no Ivern mid. There are no sets for Ivern mid. Ivern mid is only him. It is. Okay, yeah, no, I don't see anything for Ivern mid. It is insane that we are having to respect Ivern mid. My bias would show. I fear I can't. Hey, my bias, if you're biased for DPS, I'm biased for LSD. I went to school, to college with like everyone on the side of LSD. I knew them since before I did BTL. So like, you know, you can balance out my bias. Of course, I have Maria over there on the other side, and Maria has been the second in command at BTL, my BTL homie, right hand. Ivern mid only has 252 matches on u.gg. That's crazy. Compared to how many in the jungle? And it's actually going to be Maria going bot lane, by the way. This is going to be Charybdis top lane with the Mordekaiser, so they did do a little bit of a lane swap. We saw that Soul Lady was playing top in the match. Bro is a Disparity fan at heart. Hell yeah. I mean, I love those guys. Hey, me and Fish Guy 177. Whenever I played in BTL in season 3 and 4, whenever I won the championship in season 4 and 5. Like Fish Guy 177 was my ADC whenever I played mid for those 2 championships. So like, you know, we got some history back in the day. They haven't played in years though. Like everyone's so wasp. Maria can do it all. Maria can do it all. Maria on the Leona in the bot lane. A little bit of flexibility shown here from DPS, as we would expect, especially whenever we saw Maria's dungeon last season. They literally played a different role, like every single game they would swap it out. But yeah. All right, we got the spectator delay. Soon we will see how these drafts turn out. Right now, the draft I'm favoring, I mean, it's just a very, very solid draft on the side of DPS. I think I'm very interested to see how this Bel'Veth does. Black Fate, the jungle for DPS, was who we chose to be our MVP after that first match. Has had incredible game 1 and game 2, but I think Rob Tech just also had just a really difficult series, and they did a good job of taking advantage of that. I think DPS did their research to see that where Frostlines would have some struggles, and definitely did a good job of taking advantage of that. I think it's going to be a little bit different from large-scale Disparity. I think they have to do a good job of slowing down their mid and slowing down that bot lane. The bot lane camp, especially on Draven, I'm really interested to see what they do here. So we'll see what happens whenever we get out of the spectator delay. In the meantime, while we are in the spectator delay, I'm going to have to click over here, click a few buttons, blah, 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 blah. Let's get you guys over here, and let's get you guys into a word from our sponsor so we could turn off the pre-rolls. We'll be right back with game number 1 between large scale Disparity and DPS. I'm always going to love this Champion Select music. LCK 2019 Champion Select music. It's always just a bop to me. Alright, but we are ready. Let's turn that music off so we can get ready for our first match. And I'm used to pausing, because usually I have someone in here with me, but I'm actually alone right now. So I guess we don't need a countdown. We can just play it, right? Remember, we love clips. Yeah, be sure to clip something if you see something cool. I've been a little bit off of my clip game recently. We had an editor that was supposed to help us make videos at the beginning of the season, and then they just kind of disappeared. So we didn't really get as many videos off to the YouTube and as many clips, highlight clips edited together as I was hoping for. Yeah, you know, still like it'd be like that. Sometimes it's hard to get people to commit to voluntary work, so I feel Okay, we have a 5 points here from LSD, and then a five stack from LSD, and a 5 point line of scrimmage start from DPS. Uh, Let's go Disparity obviously watched the earlier series from DPS to see what they did in that series, and DPS already playing this series completely differently and deciding to not invade. So DPS did invade both games last series. But this game, they just do a 5 point start. So, treating them, it is a different team and they are treating them differently. As well as a different draft and everything like that. They don't have the Nautilus this time. Now, this time the Nautilus is on the other side. So they're just going to do a simple 5 point line of scrimmage. Watch the entrances to the jungle. But they were able to get this deep ward here. We see that there is a ward over there by the blue buff of LSD. And Belveth is going to start topside. They're both going to start their wolves. Very interesting. Both junglers start their wolves. So neither one of them will be needing a leash. So both of them will be going leashless. Makes sense to get into the priority in that bot lane. I'm very curious how this goes. Yeah, level 2 is going to be so important here. This bot lane is going to be so important. It's Zero Bad Connection and Soul Lady. Very solid bot laners against two very solid bot laners. Fish Sky was at 7 and the Dreads line. And their peak, they used to be High Diamond bot laners together. These are also best friends since like high school. They've been playing together for like literally a decade. Oh, the hook. The first hook for the Dreads line is going to miss. As they do get the level 2 first, but they aren't able to take advantage of that level 2 advantage. I don't know what to say there. Advantage twice. On the way, pings from Ivern as they looks like ward the bottom river, and Belveth invaded. It looks like not probably gonna get. Yeah, it's going to get some. Will Vi know to go vertical? That's the question. Belveth going and taking Vi's red. Will Vi have the knowledge to go vertical? Okay, is going to get pinged out there. The Belveth is seen. Does Vi go vertical? There is a little hook there. It's going to land onto Soul Lady. Vi is in the tri-bush in the bot lane. I don't think they'll be able to find anything there, but hopefully knows to go vertical. It's going to get pinged out by DPS. DPS is going to see them there. Is going to jump onto Vi. And oh my god, what an interaction there. But Soul Lady is now going to get hooked. It's going to be forced to flash. There is the ignite. There is the exhaust. Soul Lady's going to get very, very low. One more auto. That's going to be first blood. Going over to Fish Guy 177. Draven able to get the first blood. Looking for a little bit more. Your back connection is going to be low underneath that tower. But that's going to be first blood for LSD. Which is, oh my god, that hook is going to land around the tower. Dreads line with the lollipopping, the lollipop gang, the mechanics coming out from Nautilus to be able to get that hook to land, but it's not going to lead to your bad connection dying. But anyways, first blood going over to LSD, already different than the first series of the night, where DPS got first blood in both games. Your bad connection is low down here. Meanwhile, the bot lane of LSD is relatively healthy, and here comes Belveth. Belveth is here, and we're going to see just the bot lane just back off. They're just going to back off. They're not going to play those games. Not going to play those games unless they can find a hook. Okay, they're not going to play those games. All right, fair enough. Meanwhile, here in the mid lane, we're going to see Quegert doing some Ivern things. Is going to take some damage here. Is not going to win that trade. Is actually, we're going to see Etoe is going to go in on Quegert. Doing a lot of damage there. The Etoe breath. Oh, but Quegert's going to flash. And there's the autos. And there's the first blood. Not the first blood, but the kill. The solo kill in the mid lane is actually going to go over to Ivern. Ivern, sweet win, pushing it a bit too much there. And Ivern gets the first kill. Ivern things, man. Ivern mid things. And, oh, now they're looking for the kill. Juicebox Hero is here. This will be a pretty easy kill. Going over to Etoe. Etoe is going to get the trade back in the mid lane. So a little bit of an overstay there from Ivern. Ivern still gets the first kill, but it was not first blood. So there, I don't think the gold should be an advantage to Ivern. Yeah. Etoe actually, in fact, has more gold because of the CS disparity. So was able to trade that back. We're going to see Vi go over by the Krugs, which have the Grubs, you know what I'm talking about. They have not spawned yet, as the spawn was changed from 5 minutes to 6. But Black Fate potentially here. Maria is also here in the mid lane. So we have 3 in the mid lane. Maybe potentially looking for something. Potentially also just roaming, getting ready for the grubs. Belveth is looking for something, potentially looking for Vi. Looking for an invade. We're going to see Nautilus is going to walk up the river as well. So we're going to definitely perhaps going to see a fight around these grubs around 6 minutes. Charybdis does have the advantage here in the top lane against Toph. The grubs are spawning soon. We should get a big fight in around the mid lane. Here we are. We're looking for something. Oh, there is the engage from Maria. And there is the ultimate from Ivern. And Juicebox here is going to get very, very low. There's the ultimate from Etoe. Blackfate's going to get low. But looks like that's going to be a 1-team fight so far for the side of LSD. But Draven is here. Draven is here. The Draven has arrived. But there is Daisy with the knockups. 2 knockups on Fish Guy. 177. He just can't do anything. Just getting knocked up there. He'll be due in 9 months. Is not able to get a kill there, as DPS is able to save themselves with a lot of CC. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, that's plates. Plates for Tristana. Tristana loves those plates. Also, Draven has a BF sword? What? Draven things. Oh my goodness. All right, 2-2. Very slight gold lead for large-scale disparity, but so far, this game is much closer than what we saw at the beginning of the game of the last series. Here comes DPS coming up to the top lane. Maria's up at the top lane. The roaming thing, and oh, the fear. But oh, the ultimate from Toph, but it doesn't matter, as was still brought into the realm. Oh, able to flash away and use the barrier? That's barrier. Yeah, this Warwick has barrier up in the top lane. And it looks like the Grubs are going to go over to Belveth. And is Warwick going to back? Oh, there's the flash forward. Not going to allow the back. Oh, but Warwick. Oh, but Warwick. Oh, but Warwick. Oh, but Warwick. Oh, my God. He's able to get one and survives and is able to get the kill on Mordekaiser. Warwick, the ridiculousness, the HP, the fear, the lifesteal, and Warwick is able to survive there underneath the tower. A couple diff. That's crazy, Stevie. That's crazy. That's crazy. Leave them alone. But look at that. That's the power of Warwick top, baby. We're going to see another engage here from Ivern as Sweet Wind has no mana. He says you have no mana. He's on you because you got no mana. And there is Daisy. There is Daisy. Daisy continues. Oh my God. Daisy is an absolute menace. The turret dive from Daisy and Sweet Wind is dead. Yet again, another kill going over to Ivern in the mid lane. Yo, my God. Quaggart on this Ivern mid is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Diving Warwick is crazy. Yeah, but hey, yo, Ivern's a monster, bro. Yo, Quaggart on this Ivern is a monster. I don't understand. Ivern mid can't be this effective, man. Insane. The fact that you have to ban Ivern mid against this team is absolute insanity. He's not laning against Ivern, he's laning against Daisy. He's laning against Daisy. Yeah. Oh, here we go. There's another one. That's going to be the flash from Black Fate. Are they able to win this 2v2? And there is the ultimate from Warwick. That's another kill going over to Toph on Charybdis. Now Black Fate trying to run away. This kill's going to go over to Sweetwood. Meanwhile, on the bottom, they have a big engage. Very, very low health on your bad connection, but is able to survive. But that's going to be forced to recall. Meanwhile, let's get Disparity pick up the 2 kills up in the top lane. Up in the top river in the 2v2. And the lead in the bot lane continues to grow. Yeah, this Draven's looking mighty, what's the word? I can't think of it. Comfortable. They're looking comfortable down. They're looking comfy down here. Shout out to Team Comfy. If y'all remember Team Comfy from like 5 seasons ago. Looking for positives after that die. Oh. Yeah, this is insanity to me. This is absolutely ludicrous. I don't even how to even lane against this. This is so annoying. But hey, you know what? He's scaling. This is Sweet Win on a scaling champion. This is a scaling champion that's not casted if you consider casting and scaling. on a non-assassin. So it doesn't matter how this lane goes. Etoe scales, baby. Yeah, look at him farming. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's like, yeah, forget all that. I'm not playing your games, Ivern. I'm not playing your games. Look at all these shields Ivern's getting as well. Jesus. Is that my... my phone? Oh no, it's my sister calling me. I can't talk. Oh, and there's a kill going over to Fish Guy in the bot lane. That's not what you want to see. If you are, oh, and there is Charybdis ulting Fish Guy 177. Fish Guy 177 though, doing some damage. Oh my goodness. And then the shutdown is going to go down, but then the ultimate is going to immediately, die to Sweetwin. That's a double kill going over to Sweetwin. Draven still was in there fighting, refusing to go down without a fight. Let me make sure my sister's okay. Oh, Daisy. Okay, the Q is not gonna land there, but just all this damage that comes out of Daisy is insane, man. Hyper is no joke, yo. Want a casting buddy? I'll take a casting buddy. If you're able to join me next game, Defiance. Sure. And we're gonna have the Grubbies taken here by the side of LSD. I believe the first scrubs were taken by large DPS. So now it's gonna be 3-3. Woo-wee. And the dragon is spawning in under 8 seconds. The first dragon of the game did go over to LSD. They're looking for more. This Draven hurts. This Draven hurts a lot. Yeah, he's up 1600 on over Tristana. He's up a B up sword. Draven hurts. And that's going to be this second dragon going over to large skill disparity as well. Large skill disparity now with the 2K gold lead here at 13 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh! Oh, the Jez line just walking in to a lot of people there, and I think the Jez line is just simply going to go down. Yeah, walking into 3, just casually walking into the entirety of DPS, and Jez line is just going to go down there. Completely just unaware of where, DPS would potentially be. At least Etoe still has like the same personality as before his update, but his rework. Oh god, if I'm your back next, I do not want to get hit with an axe to the face. Those Draven axes would would definitely sting. Yeah, if you want to come in, Defiance, I can pause and sync. We can pause and sync somewhere. Yo, that in Defiance?
Yo.
Okay, hold on. Let me turn you up a little bit. Turn my headphones up. Hold up. Let me. Can you pause at 15?
15?
Yeah, I'm not sure where you are right now, but pause up.
I'm at like 15:07.
Yeah, if you can go back to 15. Let me know when you're there.
Yep, I'm at 15.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. 01, 02, Oh, 03,
Perfect.
04, you with me? Oh, okay, and there we go. We got a hook coming out, and that's going to be a very dead Soul Lady. So, A, one support walks into the other team, and then the other support does the same. And we're going to turn that into a... Oh, there's more fights going on. There's the big ultimate from A Soul. And they're going to continue. Oh, that actually connects. Oh, my God, the flash forward, the Vi ultimate onto your back connects. Your back connects. There's the flash forward. Vi is going to lose her life for that. But is it going to be worth it? That's going to be another kill going over to Driven. I would say that's very worth it so far for LSD. And that's Sweet Win now on a rampage. And now they're all chasing down Quegger. And I don't think Quegger's going to be able to get out of this, especially not with Warwick there. And yep, Warwick's on the ultimate. That's going to be another double kill going over to Sweet Win. And now a 12-6 lead here for large scale Disparity. They're going to trade 1 for 3. What do you think of this game so far in Defiance?
Well, I think generally, like, if you ever know you're playing against a Draven player, you ban Draven, like, 100%. Like,
Yeah,
100%.
I'm very surprised. Yeah.
I do that in solo queue, I do that anywhere. Just, it's not worth playing against Draven, in my opinion. I think he just has too much pressure. He, like, warps the whole game. You want to camp him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, like, even to, like, get ahead, and then if he starts getting ahead, then, like, his team can snowball off of it. Also, I like Sweet Win playing like more of a team fight pick this time around.
Yeah.
He's definitely played a lot of solo queue hero picks, but I think like, especially how good he is, I like seeing him on a huge scaling pick that basically can always bring the damage. Like definitely because he can follow up on all of the CC from the rest of their team. So like I mean, it's gonna be really hard for DPS to get back in this game when they have like two such high damage champions
here.
Really falling Draven. Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that as well. I know at some point it kind of became the strategy against the large scale disparities to kind of let them have their mains. Like people stopped fearing the Nautilus, people stopped fearing the Draven at some point, I guess as well. I think there were some games where there was a few weeks where Draven wasn't even the Draven player wasn't there. So maybe I don't know if they forgot, but like I don't know if they forgot week 1 this Draven like was 1v2ing lane, but hey. It was like I said, it was definitely part of the strategy. They definitely thought that perhaps it wasn't something to fear, it was something to actually respect. So
Yeah,
they
I think
decided to let them have it, and like, cause I don't know if it was 90%. There was a team that's pretty much said like, if we know what they're going to play, then we know that we know what play style they're going to play, and then we can play against that. So
yeah,
guess that was
I
the idea.
definitely agree with that mindset, but like I said, I'm big about like reality warping plays. I do like them getting this pick out in the top lane because like the thing they need to do is like they shouldn't have contested that earlier Mountain Drake. I think what they needed to do is just constantly like push out the waves where pretty much Draven's not sometimes without like Brilliant Soul as well. Like kind of try to catch the Warwick out, just basically kind of like farm up and get back into the game because I think there's like so much more of a gold swing when like 4 or 5 of them all died at the dragon. I think at that point you just really want to keep like the gold generation coming and just defend turrets the best you can, but they don't have the best way to play with their team either.
Another kill going over to the Aurelian Soul. Sweet Win now 7-2-3 on this Aurelian Soul pick.
Yeah, it's definitely a good counter from LSD. That's one thing Quaker has to be careful about is like generally like if you make a play on one side of the map, you better be like permanently under your turret. Like you don't want to push up at all because you just know that there's probably a number disadvantage because you don't really know where they're at.
Yeah. Potentially the third dragon of the game here. Looks like Black Fate is not going to walk over. Looks like they are just going to give it up. Fair enough. Yeah, you don't have to contend this Drake. Just gotta contend all the others.
Yeah, well, now for sure they have to contend all the other ones. It could have been like maybe an angle if like if F8 had flash, because then he maybe could have just like tried to flash over the wall and take it or something like that. Because it would just stall the game more, especially because Baron's not quite up yet. He would have been up in time for that, but flash was down. And like I think the biggest thing is they just need to look to stabilize. But part of the problem is like you try to look to stabilize against Draven, but when Aurelion Sol's like 7-2-3, you gotta get worried about being outscaled. They have a pretty short comp, I'd say, because like really it's the Leona and Triss that have the range, but like it's gonna be hard for like.
A Soul gonna try to survive here in time. Not gonna be able to survive in time for the rest of the team to arrive. Now Draven is here.
Yeah, I think going in here is a bit sus. I think Draven just kind of bursts them. Yeah, here you go. I think you just let your Leona die.
Ooh.
Or if she doesn't, that's really good.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Oof. Yeah. Queued perfectly into the Nautilus hook too. Yeah, and that's one of those where they got the Aurelion Soul. I think they got everything they needed.
No way. Okay, I'm about to say. Oh my goodness. Warwick is about to do some crazy things.
I think when like basically you get that kill, and then like if Leona goes in, I don't think you follow. I think you just kind of like let it happen.
Yeah.
And if she can get out, she can get out, and which she did in that case. You just gotta be
Can
careful
Defiance
about
turn
that.
up volume a little bit? I did boost in Defiance.
I'll boost myself up a little bit more too.
Okay.
Blue team's turret has been
It's
destroyed.
going to be turrets going over to LSD in the top lane, but they are going to trade it for the turrets in the bot lane as well.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
It's gonna
How's
be
this?
oh yeah, there we go. Yep, that's good. 3 towers on both
Awesome.
sides now.
Yeah, so I think one like big proponent of this is they just basically need Triss to have every bit of items she can, and then when you get to the Bel'Veth late game, where she can start getting like the wits end, she either goes like Merc Treads or Ninja Tabi, probably like Tabi this game. Once you're able to kind of like tank the initial damage like with your E and let your team fight a little bit, it's going to be a lot easier for DPS to actually navigate these fights. I think till then though, it's going to be really about them just trying to find picks constantly. So like I would like to see all of them have like pink wards here, and then like just using the red trinkets to constantly make sure there's no vision.
Yep, that's fair. It's all ways to get back into the game. They're definitely not out of the game yet. They're a little bit behind now. It'd be dangerous to fight around this Draven. This Draven looks very scary. You can see the items that are completed there. And it's down on farm, but it's down 1,600. It's still ahead of just on about 1,600. Nope. Hook there, not going to land. Oh, but Maria potentially still in trouble. Is going to engage on to the Draven. The Draven is going to get CC'd here. But, oh my goodness. But Justana jumps in and just gets absolutely deleted. And now the Draven is getting untouched in this team fight. Oh, now that's a double kill going over to the Draven. And Charybdis is going to try to get down Draven. Charybdis is going to take down Draven. But now it's Charybdis versus the world. Ivern is here, but it's simply not going to be enough. Daisy is here. Davy is a champion. Davy is a monster, but it's not going to be enough. But that's going to be 1. They lose Draven, but they take 4. And that's going to lead into the Baron.
I think at that point you let Leona go in. If she dies, she dies. You do. I think just as Triss, you wait until at least Quaker is there. You've got an Ivern. You really want those Ivern shields to constantly pop and then refresh on you, because by then you'll be able to get your bomb off to then reset your jumps, and like you can just basically fight better. He didn't even get to use his ult, if I remember correctly, as well.
Yeah, his ult's
so like,
still up, yeah.
I think Quaker's so massive for David. Your bad connection to be able to play these fights.
Yeah.
That TP is going to be a little.
Might
not be bad. They separated a lot.
Yeah. And that's going to be Justline going down. And here they are on the chase. And Leona is going to engage onto the Draven. Here comes your bad connection. Looking for more. Draven's going to be forced to flash. So they are able to take off some Barons on 2.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Again, you want to get like as many kills or takedowns necessarily, because I think it's just are what matters too. Just getting the Bel'Veth passive to like again like full potency, and then getting the Wits End, and then like the Ninja Tabi, like all of a sudden like they'll I'm telling you, like LSD will try to pick her, and then they'll all of a sudden be like turned on, especially with like having Quaker on the team as well. Bel'Veth just gets absolutely deadly late game, and so that's what like DPS should be looking to do.
And they're going to get ready for this dragon. 15 seconds for the dragon. They are in position for it. Once again, the Dreads line where he should not be, and gonna get and once again walks into 3 members. Very unfortunate. It could come to the Hex Gate. Now don't know what's on the other side of the Hex Gate, and going to get just deleted there. And that's going to be the dragon going over to DPS.
Absolutely fantastic. Stalls the game by like the dragon respawn timer. You also get to pick yourself. This is a thing that I always want to see more teams doing, because like we don't really necessarily do it. It's just when you camp those hex gates, it's such a good prospect to get back into the games, because if you just wait by them, you'll see the red mark when they come in. You can just wait over the wall and kill them like that. That's why the second I saw the red one when they were getting like deep vision, along with the red wards, like again, camping the hex gates is usually just like absolutely fantastic, because they'll either come in one by one or just one at a time. And then like naturally, another reason why you kind of want Dredgeline to be on Nautilus, even though he's going to land nasty hooks, is like Nautilus is just kind of int, and it's not like bad, it's just generally like the function of their champion. Even pros, Mickey from G2, going against the LCK teams, he's prone to int a lot. Same with Hillisang. It's just one of those things where like Nautilus is like one of the most, just your team gets a pick or you picked yourself like champions, but like he's so good for that. And that's what DPS just needs to watch out for him, because if they can keep like just grabbing him, it'll just make these team fights easier and easier, and like definitely stall the game even further.
Okay, Maria seems to have a one-track mind as well. as just like CC the Draven.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
they're gonna get a they're getting a push here on this bottom tower with these Baron empowered minions. Gonna get this bottom tower low. Meanwhile, the Mordekaiser is pushing in the mid lane. So the Mordekaiser does not have teleport, but the Warwick isn't really there as well. Warwick is kind of in between both lanes. Not exactly sure what Warwick wants to do, and they are eventually going to get this turret. Okay. Do we see an engage here? There is the Nautilus hook is going to get flashed. Not be able to land the hook. Okay. DPS is going to play this a little bit safe here. Nautilus looking for more is going to drop the ward. Is going to get instantly deleted, but then they did get some information off of that still. And looks like they're going to take the turret and walk away. Makes sense.
Yep. But like it's still good for DPS to like sit there. I mean, like Quickert stayed a little bit too long, having to burn his flash. But like I think it was pretty important for them to just kind of like even half-heartedly defend the turret. You know, you get Mordekaiser in the side wave. He gets even more farm to be more relevant and ult good priority target. And then by also contesting that, you don't allow them to think that they can push more towards your inhibitors. And again, you're just trying to stack a build anyway. Just trying to save your summoners and like at least make them snowball slower is pretty important. Trust might jump in here.
Oh, yeah, and it's going to work. Yeah. Yep. Draven way too confidently there, backing in front of Tristana, thinking that there's no way she jumps on me, but unaware of where the rest of DPS is. That's Draven just getting completely picked out there, and that's a shutdown going over to Tristana.
Yep, and you love to see it.
If you're DPS, you do love to see that.
I mean, truth be told, like I always root for like underdogs in games. So like, technically, since they are behind right now, I just love watching the comebacks. Comebacks are hype as hell.
It's going to make this game very interesting for sure.
I mean, Draven also getting like 12 kills like would also been cool. But
Oh, here comes large skill Disparity. They do not have Draven though. By the way,
honestly, this would be a great fight for them.
Oh, here
Let's go watch out for Aurelion
here
Sol.
it is. It's Aurelion Sol. Aurelion Sol pretty much is the only damage threat with no Draven available. Juice Box Hero is going to get taken down. Oh, Sweet Wind goes golden at full HP. Was it to avoid an ulti from... Oh, okay, Draven is here now. It is a 5v4. There is the ultimate from Leona. There is the... Oh, but the stand aside is going to take it down. So now you have to watch out for Draven. Draven is going to take down Charybdis, and that's going to be the Warwick going down to Zero Bad Connection. Blackface going to get very low in this as well. That's going to be a double kill going over to the Draven. Draven has arrived, and here comes Aurelion Sol is flying in and looking for more. Dresline looking for the hook. No, and that's going to be another kill going over to Sweetwind. Sweetwind is able to take out Quegger. So, I mean, it was just a back and forth fight. Oh, potentially turning back around. And okay, they are going to back it out. Okay, so overall, I'm not sure what the numbers were, but it looked like that ended up being positive for large-scale Disparity on the backside there. Able to bait them like, oh, I thought Draven wasn't there. Maybe they don't want to start this off, but Draven was able to walk down the lane and get there in time to pick up a double kill. And that is another dragon. I mean, not a dragon. There's going to be another tower going over to Large Go Disparity. Yeah. The dragon is spawning in 24 seconds, though.
yeah, it's one advantage that the DPS has with them having to recall. Unfortunately, Prabhu is a bit low. He's going to sustain off of his Raptor pit a bit, but at least they can get vision and then like look for a pick here. That technically should have been a pretty good fight for DPS, especially with like how lagged behind Draven was. Right. I think they kind of front to back did a little bit much, and I think they needed to play a little bit more aggressive to just pop the Aurelion Sol, because I don't think Draven could navigate the fight the same way if like he didn't have his main mage. But they're gonna look at pick on Warwick here.
All right, Warwick is going to get deleted.
I know that was a lot of damage happening at once, but it really looked like it was all Mord. Uh-oh, team fight.
Oh, big A solo ulti. Oh my god. And deep, and your back connection is out of there. Sweet Wind is in the ultimate with Charybdis. Sweet Wind is going to get that. That's going to be a triple kill for Sweet Wind. And oh my god, that ultimate from Aurelion Sol was disgusting. And that's going to be a quadra kill. And where is DPS? DPS gets deleted in that team fight. And that's going to be the soul for large scale Disparity. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Aurelion Sol plus like Nautilus, and then you've got Vi. It's so hard to play AD carry in that case.
Jesus Christ.
It's one of those things like against this type of team, you really have to like stagger the entrances, because like for example, if you just kind of had Leona and Belveth like walking in first and then they get engaged on, and then if Trist is like a little bit more towards like the bushes and whatnot, and they're like a little bit staggered, I think the team fight looks a little bit better. I still think LSD has like a pretty good chance to take it, but that's why like against like teams that have that AoE wombo combo or the absolute shutdown, you have to be careful about checking these bushes.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting ultimate combination there. And yeah, we saw that your bad connection was instantly deleted. Did not get to play that team fight.
Yeah, he was just hit with ults, like just ults.
Yeah, 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 just God.
Yeah. Moted. But yeah, this game gets a lot more difficult for
Yeah, that's
DPS
tough. That's tough.
because
That's true.
like, and one thing that's a little bit sad too, like if you imagine they didn't take that earlier mountain dragon fight, that was a bit bad for them. If the gold was a little bit closer in these fights that were a little bit closer, then like maybe things could have been different. I don't know about that face check. I think that face check LSD wins all day. Um, but yeah, I think the man Hextech drag like Soul is so hard to go against because that extra little bit of slow that zaps through your whole team just makes it feel like it snowballs fights a lot harder than a lot of the other Souls.
Oh, Kraken's going to be forced to flash away here. Yeah, they're not able to contest this turret. Let's give you another turret going down. We'll see 5 members of LSD here in the top side. Mordekaiser is bot lane, a teleport away. Here comes Daisy. Daisy is out there looking for something. Juicebox Hero is off on the side. Do they try to get a pick on Juicebox Hero? Vi is trying something up. Potentially going to go back in. And it's not going to do anything. We're going to see the inhibitor tower potentially go down as well. Oh, there's the hook. As the tower goes down, the hook on Kraken. Oh my god, Kraken is deleted. Kraken is oh my god, more people are deleted. Oh, Jesus Christ. Where did Belveth go? Belveth is gone. And that's going to be a double kill going over to the Draven. And the inhibitor goes down as well.
Yeah, with them
Oh
having
my
to really
god, Draven
install,
hurts. Yeah.
I think you kind of have to you have to accept you're going to lose that inhib eventually, right? Like you don't necessarily take the fight or put yourself in a position to get caught there.
Yeah, and they don't have wave clay really. They can't have
Yeah.
wave.
So basically, like you kind of have to just stall it out the best you can to hopefully stall their Baron and make them like rotate. But then LSD got enough kills.
Woo. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. That's gonna be game 1, going over to large skill disparity, 31-17. And pretty dominating in the end. They ended up 11k. Is a pretty dominating game 1 victory for large skill disparity there. What do they need to do? Or I'm assuming you feel like Draven should be banned, but what do you feel like they need to do in game 2? Is that it? Is that the main thing? Ban Draven?
You ban Draven. You ban Cass. And then I think you play something easier to execute and just make sure one person has wave clear on your team.
That's fair. Yeah. I didn't really notice the wave clear thing until like that final fight there. I was like, huh, wait a second. This inhibitor is just going to go down. Like, whenever you mentioned that, that's true.
Yeah, it's just, that's like, because see, I think Quake's like, Ivern is actually like generally pretty nasty. It's one of those things you pretty much almost want to permaban.
Yeah.
Because it's just so strong and enables their team so much to build interesting things. I think you go a little bit more traditional. I think game 2 if you're DPS, but you got to make sure Cass and Draven are banned. I like you can get death by like 1,000 cuts. Like it's whatever. I think obviously they showed a lot of grit in this game considering the team comp that they were against, and behind they definitely showed that they could almost turn it back around. But like I think you don't let those two through. I kind of missed the first ban phase, so I'm not really quite sure what they banned. But I would also maybe think about banning Rogue as well.
Banned Maokai, Zac, and Kassadin.
I think you let the Zac and Maokai through. I think Maokai's annoying, but I think you let them through. I think you would just prefer Dredgeline to be on Nautilus. I think you want the Draven ban. I think you want the Kassadin ban. Where was Aurelion Sol picked? Was he like R4 or 5? Like was he a 4 or 5?
I just posted the spec link for that game 1 in the castle chat, but it was R4.
R4? Yeah, I think you look towards also banning the Aurelion Sol for sure. I know Skarner can be crazy and can be pretty OP. So that's a ban that can definitely stay. But like for me personally, I would rather their mid laner be on like a playmaker like Ari instead of like some of these other champions that just have crazy late game scaling, because I think sometimes he plays a bit far forward because like he knows he has the ability to like get out or make plays. So I think there's more of a chance to kind of like pick him out a bit on Ari specifically. I also understand banning that because he's also really good. Do you really want to get charmed 1,000 times in a game? But I definitely think that you basically play a more standard team comp. You have one that has more options to deal with something ranged, and I think you just pick out a lot of things that were like in this previous game. Like I think you definitely don't let the Draven, you definitely don't let the Cass, and I think you make other sacrifices where necessary.
I just. Whoa! What did I just do? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still. I can hear you. I don't know
Okay.
if BTL.
I made my. I've never hit that button before. I accidentally made a new desktop, and it just. Hold up. Yeah. Okay. So it just took away everything on my screen. Okay. Okay. We're back. We're back, and we are going to be getting ready for game two. So we will be setting up everything for game two, and we'll be right back after this slight break. So don't touch that number on your dial.
I'm reaching out, cause I cannot fight this feeling anymore. Feels like I've been blown away. I'm pushing out, we're not running round in circles anymore. Feels like I've been blown away, and I won't do it again. No, 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 I won't do it again. No, 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 I won't do it again. I'm reaching out, cause I cannot fight this feeling anymore. Feels like I've been blown away. I'm pushing out, we're not running round in circles anymore. Feels like I've been blown away, and I won't do it again. No, 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 I won't do it again. No, 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 and I won't do it again. And I won't do it again. These words won't get through to me when I'm not listening. These words are no use, no telling me, is this worth risking? And I won't do it again. It's contagious. Tell me, do you feel?
Okay, and here we go into the draft for game number 2. Looks like we are joined by someone else in the booth. Is that Stevie, the milkman? Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Did you get a chance to catch that first game?
Yep, I did actually.
What do you think? What do you think? What?
My prophecy is currently true. I predicted power rankings 8th place Frostlines, and I did say that without Mr. Krabs, that DPS is a 6th place team. And looks like large skill disparity is kind of proving me right here.
What do you think of the draft so far in Defiance? You're noticing someone maybe is not getting banned there.
I'm noticing two people. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if I'm LSV, I slam Draven here. I wait until the next two picks, I slam Kassadin. Like, I would just do it. Why not? Right? Like, cause like if they're gonna go Zac, they're probably gonna have like more of a
And
team
the
fighter
poppy
jungler
into
this
Zac.
time. Yep, I think they're gonna choose a team fighting jungler this time. I think. Why Vi?
Interesting.
You can pick Vi anytime. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
Like, at some points, it's not just about saving counter picks. I think you just grab it. Like, I guess they're mind games, right? Because I don't understand why LSD did not pick Draven yet. I wonder if they're just making sure it's a good matchup here.
Oh my god, that's a great matchup, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why I don't agree with picking it here. I think picking something that can like handle it a little bit better. But
Are you baiting them into Draven somehow? Like, I don't think it's a bait. I think it's a.
I don't think they're worried about it.
Interesting. Yeah, they may not be.
They
banned the
they're
Nautilus.
always like, we don't worry about it, like certain things, and it's like, really?
And DPS bans out Ivern is interesting. Does LSD play Ivern?
Yeah, their jungler plays everything.
Okay. Do you have blue side?
well, I think it's because like if DPS is gonna run Ivern, they're gonna run it mid, and I think they want to run something more traditional. Like personally, like I'm the kind of person where
That's
like if they're gonna potentially choose something like a really install or like a different control mage, it's nice picking one that can like poke a little bit more. They can like kind of play the lane a little bit more than like that pick can, and then also have a wave clear. I can see the Sivir pick as them having wave clear, but I'm really surprised if they don't slam like Kassadin or Draven here. I could see not slamming Draven at this point, I guess.
I can see Kassadin right now. Okay.
Oh,
so,
I'm all types of confused.
Never mind. What the fuck is going on?
So now that they ban Draven Kassadin?
I mean, they're gonna drain. Yeah, 100%. They're banning
Ban Draven,
Kassadin.
right? Yeah, Draven Castle.
100% they're banning Draven Castle. There's no way they don't.
This is some interesting mind games we got going.
At least Kassadin. Okay. I was
Okay,
about to say, at least
Kassadin.
Kassadin. I can
At the very least.
understand. I can understand not banning Draven.
Yeah.
I get it, especially if it ends up being a Poppy support rather than like a Poppy, because it's not jungle and it's not top, so it looks like a Poppy support, right?
Ban
So
ban
Brom's pretty
Etoe.
good into it. I like the ASOL ban. I like it.
That's fine.
I think because Poppy Draven's not like really a strong lane, and Brom's pretty good
Is it
into
Trundle
other
support?
melee supports. No, it's Trundle top.
Okay.
Trundle top by jungle and then Poppy support. So the thing is, they're gonna choose an AD carry here. They could just still slam Draven. Personally, I think they need something more like
Coggles?
maybe like I like Ashe, but Cog's fine too. Cog's good here. Kaisa also
interesting.
decent.
I've never seen that man play Kaisa.
The only problem is like Kaisa Poppy feels like an absolutely kind of like bad lane. Like
It does.
especially into like Sivir Braum, I think you just basically go, "Hey David, you can free farm this game. It's cool." And like, so I don't really understand the point in that, personally.
Yeah, I'm very confused by LSD's draft here. I was confused by the bans by DPS, but then LSD's response also confused me.
Yeah, I think it's because they likely didn't want to
Back
pick
to
the
the
Draven
Talia
because they
jungle.
weak support.
So it's Zac top. You got counter pick from mid. If you pick something Katarina's good into, okay.
Yeah, I like this. I like this. I think DPS already wins draft. I don't know if Red Side has a pick.
Yeah. Trying to
Because,
think
like,
where
Well, like
does
look how
pull,
like
'cause-
short range and everything they're
Yeah,
at. They're gonna be
'cause-
running through Talia E. They're gonna be running through Braum. They're gonna be running through Sivir boomerangs. Like they're gonna be standing all next to each other because of Sivir. Like none of those champions besides maybe Kaisa won't be in that range. But
Does
she'll be
this
looking
man have
cool.
Xerath in his pool? I don't think so.
Ooh.
They
or
kind of need
Vel'Koz?
Xerath here, but Ari.
Yeah, see Ari.
I don't know. Grounded Braum.
Yeah. Ari
yeah.
Ari versus Talia and Cassiopeia seems tough. Yeah, so I was like, oh yeah, his pull was pinched at that point. Yeah, I think grabbing the Cassian where they grabbed Trundle would have been fine.
I think what they did was they realized like, hey, let's get rid of Maokai, let's get rid of Nautilus. If they don't have those two champions
For
that
the
feel like
support,
strong
yeah.
laners,
Mm-hmm.
like then when they're so because if like that's the problem, right? Is like Draven Poppy, like it would be harder to get kills because like Poppy's more of like a peeling champion or like a ganker, like a roamer. But that's not really what Draven wants in his lane. So I could see them basically kind of drafting around like, all right, fine, we'll make it not ideal conditions for Draven, and then still end up getting the Kassadin ban. So like all in all, I think DPS played this draft really well. I was a bit worried, for sure, but the fact they still ended up getting Cass and ASOL bans,
Yeah.
I honestly
I
just
think they cleaned it up there for sure.
Yeah.
Ended up going in their favor.
Looks like they're ready.
Yep. And it looks like it's going to be Maria playing support and Charybdis topside. I did expect that when I saw the Zac. Oh, my casters.
Wow.
What are you thinking, Stevie? Who do you think has the better draft?
Man, look, both drafts, fucking trash.
You don't like him? One of them?
He's no Vel'Koz. You know who would have gone hard in the mid lane?
That's
Vel'Koz.
true. Honestly, very true. Like, Vel'Koz actually would have been good. Like, great. It's great to try to
The only
outrange
person he has
Cassiopeia.
to worry about is
Yeah.
Talia.
Yeah. If you can outrange Cass, it's actually pretty great.
Yeah, I could see that if they transitioned into a poke comp, then like I think that it would have been a lot easier to play the game. It's just like, honestly, I feel like their win condition this game is stall the best you can and do like a 1-3-1, and then you hope Trundle like destroys the
Trundle just,
all of
auto
DPS base.
destroys turrets. Because there's no one here can match the Trundle.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like not one-on-one, of course.
The closest one is Cass if she gets fed
Yeah.
enough.
Well,
And even then,
if
it's
she gets
still.
But I can see what large scale disparity they're trying to do. But like,
I mean, we were saying the duality of Sweetwind in the mid lane. The get super fed and do super well. This is looking like it is almost a setup for the opposite situation.
I think my problem is like, I think the Poppy Trundle goes counter to what the Vi, Kaisa, and Ari want to do. Because like if you're gonna do that, like I feel like you just kind of all in like a you know, like more of a pick comp still. Like you got to find something else you
I
can
see
pick.
what you mean.
I think to me like the Poppy is more of like a stall, is good for a poke comp. Kaisa could have been good with that, but instead you've got like, you know, you have Vi who wants to go in, and then Kaisa more, and you know, it's optimal scenarios wants to go in with like Ari, and they want to disrupt fights, but then like Poppy and Trundle, they're going to be struggling.
I expect this Papa to be very aggressive because it's Judge Line playing good.
I agree, but that's why I like the Braum pick.
That's fair. Yes, you just ult Braum out of there, but that won't really be a thing. Whenever, oh yeah, but if Braum E's Poppy ulti, does he alone get E'd?
I think so.
That's pretty good. That's really good, actually. You can stop.
That is really
We've seen
good.
many times this season where Poppy like solo wins fights by ulting away 3 or 2 people and then just making it a 5v3. Okay.
One advantage that they have on that is like, I mean, well, I guess it's really dependent, right? Zach can jump in during ult, so if he can disrupt it, you got to hope for a Talia push maybe, or just a Quaker ult. Honestly, even a Braum ult, if it's fast enough, can stop it for sure if you just make sure to hit Poppy. So they do have a lot of options. It's really just about having like enough CC to be able to handle it.
Yeah. It's gonna be a brawl of the fights. Looks like a lot of these fights. I feel like they're gonna be very brawly, with just the Zac and the Braum, and then the Vi, the Trundle, and the Poppy. This will be interesting. But we have to see what happens whenever we load into the game. I do like DPS's draft here. I think DPS did get the better draft here. If I was to pick who I think would win this one, I think it would be DPS.
Yeah, if I would pick a side, I think I'd go with DPS as well, even though, I mean, I don't really like it too much, but better than what.
I think it's really good at handling short range like team fights. Like I think because it's so hard to kite through like the Talia, the Braum, like the Cass, and then like against DPS, like I mean LSD's team, I think LSD just chose like a lot of short range people if they're team fighting, and I think literally Sivir just W's them to death. Like I think they just die from ambient damage.
Yeah, they have to walk into a Sivir, which is not something you want usually.
Yeah, like through a Braum, through a Cass, through a Talia, through a Zac, like it's just annoying.
Alright, well, we will see what happens whenever we load into the game after this spectator delay. We got about 2 minutes. Don't change the number on the dial. And the Lakers may actually take down the Nuggets today, so that's interesting.
No, they fucking won't.
We will see you guys after the break.
Ability, Mr. Magician, tricking me to loving you, turning pages, looking for something new, but the rain is stopping me from pulling through. I'm gonna take a deep breath, cut the loving into, cause I'm needing nothing, coming straight there from you. I'm gonna take a deep breath, cut the loving into, cause I'm needing nothing,
right.
Somebody touch my spaghetti.
Anyways, all you guys paused at 5.
Yes.
Oh, in defiance?
5?
Yeah, 5 seconds.
Aren't they in a pause right now?
Not that I see at 5 seconds, unless it happened a little bit right after 5 seconds.
Yeah, it did.
Nope.
Oh my god.
I'm at 5 seconds.
Well, I guess. Well, let's still do the play together. We'll still be synced up. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. And I'm assuming 6, 7, 8, and there's the pause. All right, fantastic. Did you guys also pause right now?
Yeah.
At the same time. All right, great.
Somebody touch my spaghetti.
Oh, that's what. Mamma mia, pizzeria. Somebody touch my spaghetti.
I know. I read that and then I saw the pause and I was like, "What the fuck is the pause for?"
We have no context. This doesn't explain anything.
All right, they're ready. I
Okay,
guess.
they're ready. All right, well, the spaghetti. They got the spaghetti back.
Sometimes, man, in Gauntlet, teams should get each other. You know, like the late night games, the second best of 3, everyone's delusional.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter if it's just one best of 3 for that person playing at that point.
Do we expect an invade here from the Braum side? It was interesting to see that. So in the first series, DPS did invade both games. Last game, they just did a 5-point spread, but
I think they do a 5-point spread,
LSD
but I would invade for Vision if I was them.
yeah, LSD was stacked, waiting for a potential invade on the top side. Looks like potentially going to get a 5-point line of skirmish from both sides. It looks like.
Hmm.
We're gonna get some Riot clients after pause because, you know, Riot, and we should be back. You guys are still with me? 32, 33,
Yep.
34.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, good.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Some friendly dancing over the top lane.
It's just kind of funny to me that
The early gold there from Juicebox Hero. Juicebox Hero with the 5 gold lead right now, seeing the ward.
Yeah, we taking that.
Minions have spawned.
Backflight spending some mana.
yeah, he's getting his work ground for the big boldness. Or he's bored. It's one of the two.
I forget that it's like it's like they changed the latest word like you like.
I mean,
something
that's what
or
happens when they
work
do
around,
these mini reworks.
yeah. Just forget about it. I just realized. Wait. I just realized it's Zach went mid.
Oh, they decided to swap, I guess.
Interesting. Zach went mid. Zach walked mid with Cassiopeia top. I mean, okay.
Yeah, these matchups are better because I mean you just have the Zac sustain against Ari, which is pretty good, and then the fact that he doesn't just get slapped in the face by Trundle like over and over again, it just makes it so much easier to play.
True, yeah.
Plus, you can always just like swap back later, but I think this is fine too because I don't think Trundle can technically punish cast, but it's definitely about wave management to do that.
This is definitely a lot more difficult than just run at him.
Yeah, because you can't even E away from Trundle because he'll just save his pillar for that. That's why I like the Zac matchups, just so annoying. But I like what they're doing here. We're going to see an early gank from LSD.
And an
Yeah,
early
spot
gank
out, that'll
here
work.
as well. Going to force out the flash from Sweetwind.
It's really interesting that like DPS chose Talia, and then they still went like Ari because there's already like enough dashes that like Talia's like really good here, and then to go Ari into it, like I think it just limits like the playmaking potential. They
Yeah.
obviously should choose Vel'Koz.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I was thinking, like, man, does he just not have a better champ that he's comfortable playing?
I think Ari's just such a generalist too.
Yeah.
That like especially if you normally you pick like a lot of niche things, maybe you're just thinking, all right, game 2, I just pick Ari, I play make, they banned it before. Ooh,
Blood.
That's gonna be insane.
and that's just good pathing by Prabhu, by
That is.
F8.
Yeah,
Finally,
makes
he
sense.
does something
Yeah,
right.
since they blew the flash earlier.
Now, personally, I think that F8 should have just ran straight bot because I think if he ran straight bot and then fought with the Braum doing his Q right there, I think you get bot lane's flashes. But seems like he still will get the chance. They do get the Kaisa flash. And we're going to see Vi look in the top lane, but I mean, Cass is extremely healthy. I don't think a dive goes well here.
I mean, please don't let it be a repeat like last time. Oh, this is on the other side though. No, the wave's not in a state for a dive.
Yeah, plus the HP and mana pool is just so high. I don't know. Okay, yeah, I think you just counter jungle. Yeah, but I think pretty much until the dragons start getting focused and the grubs start spawning, is just going to be watching about the jungle pathing and kind of like I think just watching F8 this game because like he's already got the Sork shoes, he's going in fast. I do think that this is really good by LSD. I think they're going to just go straight for drag because they spotted F8 on top lane vision, and they know the drag is pretty much free. I think they can just go ahead and start hitting it. It looks like DPS is going to opt in for the grubs.
Yeah, that's a 40 seconds.
Yep, because they're already going for it. So you just know you kind of got this dragon for free. They're just waiting for the scuttle vision to go away. Personally, I would have loved it if DPS was like just running, like barreling down mid straight to dragon pit, because I think that they would want to fight at this stage in the game pretty handily,
Yeah.
especially because Vi doesn't have ult. You know, I think like Flea's just ahead, so we're going to see some counter jungling, but. Personally, I don't like giving this Drake for free if I'm DPS, but I think it's also okay too.
They definitely, as long as they secure grubs, they should definitely be securing grubs.
Yeah, they're just going to
Grubs
get like
are good,
the extra gold. I really doubt Poppy gets there in time to prevent this. So
They're not really pressuring UBC in that bot lane alone for so long.
plus, considering like we talked about how LSD's like big win condition, right, is Trundle split pushing. So I could see just opting in, right, to kill like the grubs and make sure they get absolutely none of the Voidling buffs because like that would just make Trundle that much more potent and scary late game. So I actually like it. I think it kind of covers one of the problems you could have if, like, for example, they want a dragon fight and then like all of a sudden LSD goes top and then they get 3, and then maybe something goes wrong and they get up to 6, and you just have Trundle beating down the doors all game.
Yeah.
It would feel awful because he's going to do that regardless. So but man, if you're LSD, you just make sure to take those free dragons because if it's already going to be a kind of a problem scaling, then like dragon just gives you free stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See a wraparound from Vi. But I think does Braum get here in time? Braum sure does if she's going to take Krugs. Yeah, they have to call it off.
Yeah, they can't do anything there.
Yeah, Sivir can't really. I mean, Sivir's just really good in the Vi. That's why I didn't really like the Vi pick personally. I just think that like
Zach is
I know it was already picked, but like I think when they chose Zach and everything, it's just Vi wasn't the pick. Oh, we're gonna see if they can. They should still be really good for DPS.
Oh. Force out flashes there. Braum makes it there.
Yeah, it could have been even better, but again, like it's still a win. It goes to show you like how difficult to function it's going to be, like for LSD's comp. Because to me, this just gets harder, right? Because Zach just gets tankier. F8 just gets more damage. Like, Braum just gets more like CDR and also tankier. I think the team fights just get harder from here, especially if they're not snowballing or skirmishes, I should say.
No, yeah, 100%. I mean, That's why, you know, I think they should have switched to a more long range.
Yeah, because you even see like the AD coming out from Kaisa, which I don't really agree with, because you have like four sources of physical damage, because that's what Poppy does. You know, that's now at what Kaisa majority does. Vi, Trundle. I don't see why you don't go AP Kaisa here and then just do your best to poke. It's of course not that easy with like Braum Zac, but honestly, like I'm kind of surprised to see Zac go Merc Treads here. I guess I get it for the CC, but I think like Ninja Tabi just has such value. You're almost unkillable in this game.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I couldn't agree more. Holy crap.
Because like I mean like who's gonna hurt you, right?
Yeah.
Toph in a bad spot here. Whew. Whew. Still gonna force casting people to flash. Yeah, that hurt so much more than that. Oh, Braum potentially in trouble. Will they be able to get the stand aside? Nope. See, Poppy's W. They need to get the Poppy W out before to trap Braum in there. Wouldn't able to get it in time.
Yeah, they to at least get the Braum flash, but also Maria had them fancy feet. And just got to get away pretty easy. Ooh, that was a bad engage by Vi.
Yep. Oh, the Braum passive goes off.
It doesn't quite go off.
Well, I mean, as in it expires is what I meant.
Oh yeah.
I thought,
So
I thought
unfortunate.
she was gonna get stunned.
But I mean, right before the dragon, that's not something.
They haven't
we
even
do.
popped Zac's passive ever. Now this attempts to try to put into the mid lane.
And see, this is where
He's
you're.
up on CS, yeah.
But like you're seeing them. It's like it's hard for them to fight Zac.
Yeah.
Like so, Zac's just gonna get tankier. They couldn't really get a good gank off on Cass, and like you know, Cass is a late game champion, and it's just 10 minutes in, and that gank got turned around.
Yeah.
Like she had like what, a catalyst,
This is
maybe a blasting one.
Very, very tough game for LSD to play.
I think you have to get like the pick of your life with like the Vi, Kaisa, and Ari.
Oh, not able to get that one either. Cass just slithering out of there.
That's why sometimes I swear Phase Rush is like one of the most broken potentially broken keystones there are.
Okay, they are gonna they're trying to get something, but okay. They're trying to get as many of these grubs as they can get. They're gonna be able to get, what was that, 2 of them? Ooh! And your back connection shows up and kills Sweetwind.
Yeah, like
4-0 here for DPS.
it's not even worth at that point because the thing is that since they got the other 3 grubs, like sure you don't want DPS to get like 4 or more grubs, but you're not going to get the bonuses for yourself. So I think personally at that point you're basically just trying. You're doing a bait or switch, right? Like you get since you're kind of behind and team fighting is hard. If they go for dragon, go for grubs. If they go for grubs, go for dragon. Like you got to look to see which one you want to trade for. And I think in that case, like you said, go for dragon. I think that was technically the call, especially when they started walking up for the grubs. But instead they contested it, lost at this point, and now you're going to see DPS grab both the dragon and the grubs. So they have 4, which after this last patch, that still summons at least one Voidling and like helps increase their push. So they definitely got the not maximum value, but pretty high value from taking the grubs as well as the second trade. Also, you know, Mountain Drink for all their tanky champions.
Okay, Brahm's really low here.
A little bit of a late double TP.
Teleport coming in. That's super interesting. One of them's gonna get canceled. It looks like if Zac was one of those. Yeah, and okay.
Oh, this is tragedy.
Okay. Ooh. Able to pick one up though.
Honestly, picking one up is the best case scenario. Losing 2 teleports, especially against Trundle, very risky. Very, very, very risky.
Especially
I think you
since,
pretty much have to
like
take it
Maria
earlier.
was already dead. Yeah,
Yes.
it was like it was late, like you said, late TP there. If it could have saved Maria's life, if they would have had Maria's for the Braum CC still available. A little bit different. Ooh, that's gonna be a kill for Black Fate up in the top lane, killing the Trundle.
Oh, man, Trundle can't be just dying to like a Talia at that point. That's so bad. Just because like the state of the game, like I mean, you make it so much. Why didn't he get the plates? Be greedy. Come on, I know it's that's like more than 100 gold. Get him.
And no one is there to contest. No one's even
Like,
close. But
yeah, I mean, I guess he had his completed item, but I mean, like 130 is 130. You're already snowballing. You know, you're jungle diffing right now. You're 2-0.
oh well, I didn't see that you rated me, Silent K. I've been so in the game here. Thank you for the raid. Yo, had to step away from the stream for a bit, so I figured I'd drop everyone off here. Okay, appreciate it. They'll be in good hands. BRB, Lurk, appreciate that. He's a good father to drop us off at daycare. Last time he came back to pick us up, though. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. What is good? People coming over from Silent K's stream. I think y'all, I heard that y'all were watching. Appreciate that. Joining us here in Game 2 of this series. Let's Go Disparity picked up the win in Game 1, and now DPS is fighting back with a 6-2 lead here, and up 2K in around 15 minutes.
Yeah, still kind of surprised to see all this magic resist on Zach. I'm guessing going for Spirit which is fine. I think that's a really good item here. But like that's why personally for me, you just go the Ninja Tabi, Spirit Visage, Sunfire Cape into Unending Despair, and then like who kills you? Who kills you on that enemy team? I literally think that there's no answer. I think Trundle technically, but even then, I think like just considering his passive and his HP regen that he'll be getting, get a fight here.
Do they want this fight? Oh,
they don't really want any fight right now.
They're showing up. I mean, all right. I mean, okay, they asked for it. Here comes Zach. Uh-oh. 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 Yeah. Juzline kind of baited everybody into that.
And just so you know, this is LSD's best part of the game. This right here is where they are. I mean, like, what's a Trundle with Ravenous Hydra going to do with all the damage that people are going to have at this point, right? Like, he literally doesn't even have, like, Boots 2. You've just got the Sundered Sky on Vi. Still not going to really do much. She needs, like, Merc Tread. She needs, like, Hex Drinker. She still needs, like, something else to live, like an HP item behind that. This game is just so difficult now for LSD. Like, it's going to be hard to find picks when, like, you know, you just constantly lose these team fights. And, like look at the vision difference, right? Like, DPS has fantastic vision, especially right before this Dragon.
True.
And I feel like they didn't even set up for Dragon yet.
They're looking meek here for LSD.
It definitely is. We're going to see both TPs starting to come up. I think they're going to be up for Dragon as well. So basically, you know, like, DPS has tons of options, and all they have to do is make sure to keep this mid lane pushed out and just take control of the Dragon Pit and just let literally everything come to you. I don't think you have to really chase. I think you just literally keep letting it come to you, because I think it will this game.
Now they have the lane matchups that they expected, with Ari matching Cass and Trundle matching Zach, and that's going to be a teleport into the mid lane from the Cassiopeia, meaning that we should be getting ready for a team fight here soon. And yeah, this vision advantage is huge for DPS. There's an ultimate onto Jezline. You let Poppy die here. You gotta let Poppy die.
I don't. She does die.
Yeah. Nope.
But even then, that was like quite a few ults to just burn just to pick up the support specifically. But I think, you know, you still have the wall from like Talia. You still have like the Zac ult and the Cass ult. So I mean, they can't do anything. I think you just get this Dragon for free at this point. So they got to pick and out. It's just, you got to be careful about sometimes like going in that hard. They can't even look. It's 2 AD champions. He built full magic resist, and like they can't kill him already. He has 2 cloth armors.
Holy Radiance. Hollow Radiance, yeah.
Yeah, that Kingdom Hearts name right there, if I've ever heard one. I would like to see him get Unending Despair this game, for sure. I think he's going to probably opt for Randuin's, or because he's not going to get Frozen Heart. So yeah, I see double cloth armor. I'm assuming it's going to be Thornmail, maybe? Or Randuin's. But like I said, I think Unending Despair is a lot better here. because like the more you're in a fight, it heals you, right? And with Zac, that already synergizes. So that's why, like,
Which Zach
personally,
already does and likes.
that's why I'm like Sunfire, Spirit Visage, Unending Despair. Like think about it. If you have all those healing bonuses, like who's killing you? Yep, we're gonna see the Bramble Vest. And the Bramble Vest isn't bad either. They have sustain from the Trundle and whatnot. Definitely helps if you're pushing against each other. But I definitely think it could have been optimized a bit more because you're just team fighting this game anyway.
It should be. Looks like it's gonna be a Trundle turret, I'd imagine. Especially with Poppy in the area.
Blue team's turret
Yep.
has been destroyed.
Something's up a turret right there.
My favorite nerf of Trundle would that be getting rid of his Q interaction now with turrets. I'm just tired of going against Trundles, like hitting turrets, man. It's too much. It's like hinting Scion all over again.
True.
They're not gonna try to go for anything here in this tier 2, right? Okay.
Yeah, dude, surely they just dive the Zac.
It's like Poppy walking up a little bit. Zac. There's the Ignite going down. And they don't pop Zac's passive. Whew.
Yeah, they just get his flash, which
Yeah,
is like
flash
could be
back.
important, but like, I mean, it's not like with Zac when your team's this far ahead. Like, flash is a luxury. It's not a necessity.
Yeah, they gotta leave.
I think it's more for like getting caught out in side lanes, but I think he should be fine. I think personally, when he ulted over there, well, it's Poppy. Poppy didn't use W yet. I was about to take it E out, but I mean, maybe just flashing there instead immediately. Yeah, ulting's fine. I changed my mind. I talked myself out of it. Because if you can get out with just ulti with the CC reduction and stuff like that, if that's still on Zac anymore, I have no idea. Playing this game for too long, I just remember all of like, the old passives
the
and
old
stuff.
thing, yeah. Remember whenever they changed Zac's ultimate to the kidnapping ulti?
Dude, I love that kidnapping ulti. I was good at, I was
my
good
god.
at it.
That's whenever I was playing competitive around the time that we were doing. I was playing on Collegiate and when I used to play in BTL, and J-Web we used to abuse that Zac ulti.
Dude, there's so many fun things you could do with it.
Yeah.
Have you I played with like a Nunu mid, and we would kidnap people onto a fully charged Nunu ult.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was the funniest thing ever. Like, I loved that.
It was ridiculous. And they were like, all right, let's just go back to the old one. I'm like, all right, maybe this was a little silly.
I think it was fine.
Yeah,
But
it was
you know, I think it felt more.
not, it probably didn't feel good to happen to you.
I mean, Kassadin doesn't feel good, but they still let him just like rip luck at everybody past 16. You know, you're just trying to lane against him as like an AP character. He just takes like I swear to God, it feels like 55% reduced damage. It's so annoying. So annoying, and he's just like, if you let me fail, you forget about me.
That's why you hit him
Gonna
with
be
the true
forced
damage.
Yeah, the flashing gonna be forced out from Ari there.
I mean, I'm a jungler. I don't have like as many true damage options, let alone like the level diff to go against Kassadin.
That's on
I can make his day annoying, but I have to rely on others. So to me, Kassadin's just annoying. Maybe I just need to try out Vel'Koz jungle and it'll solve all of my problems.
Yeah.
Actually, though.
I just had to go up against Vel'Koz. I used to just like play Lucian mid. That was like more of an accepted thing.
Man, Lucian did clap like every lane. Plus it's Lucian. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
he's just fun to play. Like
Exactly.
he's just the coolest character. I swear to God. It just, like, you'll just be like, it's a bad matchup, but I'm feeling it.
Yeah, but you like, you feel it. You feel cool. And oh, looks like this could be a big catch out here. And Poppy's gonna ult one out. Poppy's going to live. They get over to Sweetwind. There's gonna be the ignite. Drops onto the Dres line. Solei's gonna get the kill. Solei's gonna flash out. We have a teleport coming in. And Juice Block here is going to go down. And they're looking for more. So much damage coming out of Black Fate. Sweetwind is low. So is Fish Guy 177. That's going to be another dragon going over to.
See, this is why you have to save TPs, right? Because like you can't allow them to get the inners. Like it's literally so important, and that's just what makes like games so annoying. Like other people who can like base race you and stuff, it's usually at least because like, oh, you made a super macro overextension, it's fine. But like, you know, like Trundle is like worse than Yorick sometimes nowadays.
Oh,
And
I
think,
forgot. What was that last season? We had the Trundle situation where Trundle just walked in and won the game.
Yeah, that was against us in the semis, and I hated it.
Oh no! Yeah.
But I was triggered. I was triggered about it beforehand. I've been triggered about it since like Inting Scion.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that was a prime example of what the ridiculous things that Trundle can do to just end the game and just feels real bad.
Yeah, no, I feel like I wasn't allowed to complain because like technically like we had just one of a backdoor. But you know, three of us, you know, were like literally had to we had to sneak a ward into their base. Then three of us all TP. While like Chase
the
was
triple
like the
TP.
goated like
That's
we
true.
worked for that. Trundle just sat there like
Trundle literally just walked through. He just walked through everyone and walked to the Nexus and beat
we're
it
just all
up.
smacking him. He's just destroying the base anyway. Like
Yeah, exactly.
there's the difference I felt in backdoors there. And one of them
I'm
was
with you.
a lot more painful in a silly way. But yeah, I mean DPS can just play this game slow. Like you saw how it was, dude. Like literally, you watched Maria walk back there with Braum being like, "Yeah, I'm chasing the Poppy into Ari. She's ignited. I can hit him." Like, so when Braum is like, "Yeah, I can kill your assassin next to your support."
Yeah. Very ahead here. Had 6K. Had 3 dragons. The only thing that LSD is competing on is our turrets, just because Trundle's taking 2. Trundle's just continuing to be annoying. They're just trying to let Trundle be super annoying. But they are matching. I mean, and yeah, Cass is matching Trundle.
But now they don't have any TPs up, so like it's really risky to make full team plays right now. I personally think though that DPS is fine because what they need to do is realize they don't really need their full team to come like test because like I mean Trundle's not going to be there, right? And I think they win a 4v4. No matter like who's on the team, I think they win a 4v4. Like,
yeah, like they don't necessarily need Cassiopeia.
I mean, right now they feel like they don't even need Zac or Cass.
Were they right about that?
No, because Trundle also came. But even then, look how low they are.
True.
Just a few more autos, Poppy and Kai'Sa are also dead.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's the Weaver's Wall. Let's go.
Shut down.
You don't have to flash their taste, but I feel it. You feeling good about this game?
Okay.
Like I said, Zac don't need flash. He needs TP.
Look at all the Sonic rings that getting picked up.
Man, and see that it's one of those things about best of
Rings in
threes. It really sucks winning the first game really well, and then you just get stomped game 2, and because then the momentum's already in DPS's favor. You know they've already won 3 games. Like you know if they win this one, they've already won 3 games today.
Yeah.
You know, like LSC's won 1. Stevie, what do you think LSD can do to get back in this game? Do you think there's anything?
I think LSC needs a reset. I think they need game 3.
They need game 3.
They need a game. They need game 3.
My thought
like,
is
it's
just Trundle.
But let's be real though. Like they're gonna lose every team fight. I don't think there's Trundle. I mean, so far the real estate that's been taken is somewhat lacking. Like they need this mid turret. They can get this mid turret, then yeah, it's definitely possible. Trundle really needs to put in this work and get away from the team and really start hammering on these towers. It's the only possible way they win. Other than that, I think
they really needed to cleanly win that last team fight. I think. Like that sucks that they didn't cleanly win that last team fight.
I think they have to stall out these team fights and just let Trundle do his thing.
Yeah.
If not, then it's just not gonna happen. And like I said, I personally think that's not gonna happen. I think this is a reset your mental, go game 3.
Have a little
and
bit
then
of an easier to
actually play a real comp.
Yeah.
Honestly, as stupid as we're gonna see a team fight coming here.
I mean, yeah, it's good until you realize that
it's
Oh, Jesus Christ! The damage that Black
you
Fate
realize
is doing.
they
keep bringing Trundle
damage.
to the fight too. They keep bringing Trundle to the fight, which I think is incorrect. I think you have the fight to draw attention and have Trundle just take towers elsewhere. At this point, you can't actually fight.
Are you telling me that a Trundle with Ravenous Hydra, Blader and King can't like team fight through a Zac, Braum, Cass? Talia?
I'm wondering.
He can't just walk up? Why not?
Beats me, man. I don't know what's going on here. But
All I'm saying
is
is
deleted. Yeah, they can't contest that.
They can't contest anything.
This shit needs to stop.
Because honestly, like as silly as it is, right? I think that if you're LSD here, like you know this game's lost, you kind of feel like oops draft. But again, oh, we're just gonna see Kaisa get her flash burn. But I think you just stall out the game. I think you just try to make this a really long game because DPS has already played so many games, right? So like the best case scenario you can get is like you just literally like they could literally just be tired, you know?
Yeah.
Like so I think if you can make like even though if DPS wins this game no matter what, if you make it go to 42 minutes even, like another 12 minutes, like that adds up.
No, 100%. Like, they will be too tired to play this fucking game.
It's not even a lie. I think stalling and then just being jovial, making jokes, being like haha, it's just draft. I think just blaming it on draft or like oops, the early game went bad. Like I think that could be good. Ooh, that's
Oh, UBC does go down. I was about to say, if he doesn't die here, they've messed up royally. I mean, they still messed up. Trundle is in base.
I think all they're doing is snowballing DPS further. I think they're doing the opposite of what I said.
It's always like that, man.
Actually
you
helping
know
them
what you should
accelerate
do?
the game towards the end.
I need to use Vi ult under their turret because Sivir's kind of low when they have like Infernal Soul and Zac and Braum are in front of me. That's the play. That's the play for sure.
This game's not lasting much longer.
See that and that's
Get
stuff
our
that
first
worries
game
me
three of Gauntlet.
because like you get
Oh,
you know
next spoiler.
because like I don't know I see inting plays being more worrisome than like stalling out or just like taking bad fights. Just because because like you don't want to see any of those habits carry on to the next game. That's why I always think stalling the best you can is always really good.
Yeah, I think there's just like a few like decisions that made that were just like the opposite of how they want to play. At this point, you're pretty much your only chance is Trundle wins you the game. And then at that point, that means whenever you're doing those 4v4 team fights, I think you don't even bring Trundle to the team fight. You have Trundle just stay in the side lane and continue beating up on something. Toph
And if they
brings the same all the Trundle mains. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Toph keeps coming to the team fight, and you don't want that. Okay, okay. I don't think you win this. Oh goodness, though.
Oop, wrong push.
Nope. Yeah. Okay, 2 brought to Trundle, but you can't engage on the other 3, and then you're just sad. They don't really have great engage. What's their engage? It's
It's Vi, but the problem is like when you have Braum and like Zac there, like
Yeah.
you're not gonna ult them. Ulting Sivir sucks if she didn't get her spell shield burnt. And if
Yeah.
you like go through Talia E and ult through that, it just feels awful. It just feels really bad.
Yeah, such a good draft here from DPS.
Yeah, especially because like because it was one of those where I wasn't sure with the way they were going, but then I saw the LSD like answered in a certain way that's what makes me like DPS's draft because they got what they wanted, and that's more important than thinking about what ifs.
Ooh, ooh, ooh! They are ramming their heads into a wall. Then like the impetus is on DPS to engage these fights, but then they get close, and instead of DPS having to engage the fight, LSD just runs into them, just engage the fight for them. Like, hey, you want to fight here? Yeah, us too. Wait. Why do you want to fight? But we win
I
these, so they just run into them, and then I mean, all right, they just said, all right, let's get to the next game. They said, all right, next game.
Yeah, I think what they identified is basically they don't want Dredgeline on an engage because the engage is inconsistent and it's not great. And I think that's the DPS game plan, it seems like.
All right, have they figured them out here? A fantastic win in game 2 for DPS. So we'll see what Larsko Disparity first of all chooses to play. Okay. What side they choose for game 3, and we'll be right back after a short break for game 3, and let's see what does LSD do now that they have forced a game 3. We have our first game 3 of the Gauntlet. Rough game for LSD for sure, and we'll see what happens next.
to find the loudest seas. We set down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
I'm out here vibing a little bit too hard. Anyways, while we are waiting for this next game to start, this will be the third game of the series. After this game, one of these teams will be going home. Their season will be over. What are some keys for the game for this third game? If you guys are still here with me, if I still have Indefiance and Stevie, y'all here?
Yep.
Yes,
Okay. What do you guys see? How does large skill disparity strike back? What mistake did they make in game 2, perhaps in draft or perhaps in execution, that you would think that they need to fix up to try to get a victory here in game 3 and advance to tomorrow?
Okay, I'll say one sentence and then like throw it to Stevie. They need to choose Vel'Koz. All right, go Stevie.
Oh yeah. Okay. So in all retrospect, I think, look, the draft has been absolute dog on like both sides, and that
On
needs
both
to change.
sides? You didn't like that last draft from DPS?
I don't like any other drafts. Why do you think they're in eighth?
That's crazy. I think that DPS has had some very solid drafts today.
I think if any team could punish their draft, then it would not be as solid as you think. I think if they continue to draft, like if they win this and continue to draft like this, they will get severely punished.
The funny thing, I think their picks are fine. I think it's usually the bans that I think are a little more sus when I think of like DPS's draft.
Yeah, but overall, DPS have all the momentum they need. They have 3 wins today. Yeah, they lost one, but like, hey, 3 wins is 3 wins. That's more wins than their entire season. Like,
That's crazy.
sheesh, man. Like, come on, let's get it. I think if they need to take their champs. Like, if you have Kassadin up, take the Kassadin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like,
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Right? If Fish Guy is truly a Draven main, right?
he will pick Draven no matter what.
Blue side B1, dare them. I'm just saying, like, if I think of a mentality of a Draven main, I don't think it's a good idea necessarily, but I do think they should play Draven. But like, I mean, like, you know, if you're a Draven main, they don't ban it, pick it. They don't ban Kaz, B2, B3, Kaz. Like, I just be like, fine. If you want to keep banning these champions, I'm gonna make you regret it.
Yes, 100%. He's not wrong. That's the thing.
I feel like it's such solo queue mentality though. So they're gonna go ahead and ban out the Dreads line. They have identified the Dreads line as the focus for these bans. Ban out his Maokai, ban out his Nautilus, and then go from there. That is the priority for DPS so far in this series.
I think they just want to take away Dredgeline's engage. I feel
Like
they
the
just
easy
feel
engage,
I feel like they just feel like he's a really good engager, and that
Yeah, he
like
is,
that LSD functions best when Dredgeline is the one being like, go, I'm going.
So
And
they're
you know,
gonna
like,
pick up Ivern B1.
which is good. I mean, I like saving the support pick.
I mean, I told you, like, the one thing I put in my power rankings is that Dredgeline is an amazing support. He's up there, and like, you know, they're finally realizing that he was actually up there. Perfect bans thus far.
Not gonna lie, if I'm LSD, you know what I run? I go Draven Cass, They ban 2 random support, like DPS bans 2 random things,
Woo! Nocturne.
and then
It's
you
over.
and then you pick the Thresh. I think if you
Yeah,
run those 4,
what about his Thresh? Why doesn't he pick Thresh?
I'm telling you, Draven Thresh right now or Draven Cass.
Okay,
I
here's
personally-
Draven.
Ooh. They wouldn't hover it and then not pick it, right?
Bro, that's
Are
a
they-
cover
are they
spell
considering
causing him
about
not
it?
picking it. They have
You
no
gotta- you gotta
time.
send it.
It's locked
There
in.
it is. There it is. They are going to pick up the Draven here for the last game.
I'm telling you, pick Cass.
Win or go home.
I mean, you
Pick
just pick
Cass.
Caster in here. Like, just
think
pick
they'd
your
pick
main.
Cass?
You can pick Thresh, but they should. All right,
Karma.
whatever.
Wait, it's Karma
Oh
Draven.
boy, are they going to have a lot of shields.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna tell
Jesus.
you this now. If this is Karma support, DPS called it before this game, and DPS have something prepared for this.
Oh yeah.
They read them like a book. If this is the case.
Oh, okay.
What am I seeing?
Yeah.
What was in
Karma
the
makes
bot lane?
sense.
I forgot what they were gonna play in the bot lane. If it was gonna be like something that roams.
Nocturne Shen, always a very deadly combo. I think this is a Maria top game.
This is a Maria top game. Yes, and this would be a they were talking about chase support here with this Karma pick. I forgot what it was, I'm not gonna lie. And there goes the casting ban.
Yeah.
You should have taken it while you had the chance, man.
They have an option. They have an option here. They probably aren't going to play it though.
Yeah,
I-
they have both bars.
Well, I think Silas goes hard here. But
Silas,
that's just me.
actually, yes, Silas does go hard. Can he play Silas?
I don't know.
Sweet
It
win,
seems it seems like it's within the it should
Oh,
be
yeah,
within
he
the
has.
Wii pool, the pool.
Okay, the Galio.
Silas does go pretty hard here. Silas does go hard here.
I mean, yeah.
Telling you.
Yeah.
I feel like DPS chooses another good ult here too. But I mean, we'll see. DPS does
we
have like
see
a
a
solid
support
draft, but it's
pick
gonna be
here?
hard because of the Ivan Karma.
What
Do
are they
we
gonna
see
pick here?
support? Blitzcrank. Bard. Oh, it's
I
the
knew it.
Bard.
I knew it. Oh,
It's
that's
the
how
Bard.
it-
Yeah, that means it's definitely Charybdis
gonna-
bot. We saw that
yeah.
Bard last season on Maria's Dungeon. We saw a lot of Bard from Charybdis.
They're gonna leave your
Dude, I want you to
EDC
know-
in the bot lane alone.
If you're remembering the Bard from last season on Charybdis, he just picked it up. Like he literally played it for one random ass scrim, and then like every game you saw was like his second or third game.
Katarina for sweet win in the mid lane. Gonna pick up blind.
It's back.
Interesting. Okay. There's a
It's
few
good,
picks. You
don't
can
you?
pick Cassiopeia into this.
Yep.
Alawi! Oh boy, B, we haven't seen Alawi since I haven't seen Alawi in BTL since the legendary Quickies top lane for No Mercy champions of season 4 and 5. It's because he was studying my VOD, says Burst Phantom about the Bard. And we're going to see the Alawi top, picking Alawi into Shen. Makes some sense. And Malzahar mid. Ah, yeah. Like, all right, Katarina. Have your fun.
At 6, it's just gonna be a complete counter.
Yep.
Unfortunate, really. But if there's one person that can do it, it's
To
gotta
play
be
around it.
Sweetwin, right?
I would have liked more of a team fight champion over Alawi, I think though. It's mainly because like I'm not quite sold on Toph's like split pushing pressure. Because
Yeah.
just the way he was playing Trundle. So I feel like he's gonna be playing it as a team fight one, and I feel like instead of being like, man, it's really Alawi doing this, I think it's like if DPS just kind of like run in and into Alawi is like more of where it's like, damn, those shields are great on Alawi. I just think you pick a better team fighter here. Like you've got Draven Katarina with Karma Ivern. I think you just choose a team fighter. Personally, Alawi you can technically team fight, but that's like you're depending on like the other team to play a certain way. I feel like, or you're just caring too much about the counter matchup to Shen.
Yeah, 100%. No, you're right.
But I mean, I think DPS. I honestly though, I still think both comps like are actually decent. Though I don't think it's really egregious on either end.
Mm-mm.
You've got your Katarina, you've got your Draven. You know, you've got like the double shield comp for your two biggest win cons, right? So like, how can you complain about LSD's draft? You can say, well, Alawi's not optimal, but like Alawi's not bad. You know, split push game to Shin in
Yeah.
team fight, you can be very tanky and a big disruptor because they're going to be having to get through Alawi if she is there to get to the Draven Katarina, which will be difficult. And then of course, like, you know, Bard,
Shields
Malzahar,
on
Shin are great on the Katarina, good in the Draven. Honestly, like, one thing I would like to see, but it's kind of hard to itemize this game, is like a Serpent's Fang somewhere by DPS. I think it's a little hard to optimize here, just out of the nature of their comp. But like all in all, I mean, you full send it on Draven, you use your Malzahar to peel Katarina, and then you just have Sivir clean up, and I think that's the win condition for DPS.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with you there. Very standard type of stuff. When you have so much engaged there, Shen Nocturne.
And it seems like the encouragement for LSD is Snowball. They have the Snowball, right? They can't scale this game. They don't win.
It's always weird, right? Because like I would say like late game, I would assume that DPS would win, but like a lot of their things also makes it difficult to get onto the Draven, the Katarina, the Alawi, right? Because like Sivir can handle them, right? But Malzahar has like a choice of handling one person, and if the fight's like really big, Daisy's beating him up, or somebody's like, you know, stand aside as he's done him after his spell shield is gone, it's hard for him to team fight as well. Generally same for like Shin, Nocturne, if like they don't kill their targets, like, you know, the double shields like come in, and then all of a sudden it starts to move around. I'd say I can see it becoming difficult for DPS, just because of the nature of like LST's team comp. Like, you never underestimate two shields, you know what I mean?
Sure, we could really screw with damage numbers.
Because I think the biggest thing is like you have a Shin top, so like you're not expecting the damage from the Shin, and then like Nocturne and Malzahar are very conditional damage dealers, where like Nocturne does it after he ults, but if whoever he ults lives, what does he do, right? If he keeps wailing on them, does he not just probably die? Like, most likely, like like that's where
Especially
Shin
if
is
Draven ends
beaky.
up being any type of hit. Like, there's a lot of burst damage on the side of LSD.
That's why it's like pretty big on like the Shin to get out there in time and make sure the Vorpal Blades like W with the dodge ability that is like up and running, because like you want your Nocturne to live, but even then like it can be hard. I definitely think DPS has an easier to pull off comp though, and ease of
Yes,
execution.
100%. Like, it's just R. It's like multiple R's, right?
Yep. Because like LSD has to outplay the engage.
Yeah. I will say it doesn't seem like as hard as other like difficult. It's like spam your shields on your carry, Draven. Then it's really up to Draven and Katarina to kind of outplay the fights, and then the others just kind of just like shield them, shield.
And it has to happen that way because of who's going to engage.
Yeah. There is no engage.
Karma's going to like speed herself up, flash W.
the engage is of Ivern getting a pick and with Daisy or something like that with Q. And everyone jumps to that queue, I suppose.
So that's why, like, again, I always just like lean it towards like ease of execution. But I do know that DPS oftentimes like goes a little bit further than they should, and then that's where you've got to kind of like worry about, pretty much like just diving too deep and not having the damage to back it up. You know what I mean? Especially because Sivir takes a while to come online. You know, like Nocturne needs items. Malzahar's gonna put E on one person and probably save his ult for like Katarina. So like you got to make sure you kill the Draven. You gotta make sure like the base is
Bard
done.
leave Sivir alone in this lane?
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah, no, 100%. This is exactly what they were talking about. They're like, if they pick Karma, they do not care because it does not do enough to kill. Because Sivir can just play back and use spell shield, and Bard will just go around the map.
Plus, if you just make sure to have like, it's a lot safer too after 6, because if you have like, you know, the Shinnel, right? Nocturne is
That's
like
fair.
taking wolves or something, and then you've got like a Bard ult. He could be mid, but he can still like ult you under your turret and protect you. And then you still get the spell shield. You still have flash. You still have ghost. Like,
That's
you're so
fair.
fast.
That's
that,
fair.
like,
They do have a lot of tools to keep Sivir.
Because again, who's going to engage on him?
They're just going to run
Karma's
up
no
on him, is what I'm
monster.
saying. Like, just Karma speed up with Draven speed up with stand aside. I imagine that they play very aggressive whenever they get the chance to.
Of course, but if you survive past levels 1 to 4, if Sivir gets static shiv, it's so much easier for her. Like, it's,
Yeah,
'cause, like,
that's fair.
you're not going to
Yeah.
push in the wave,
Yeah.
because she's going to auto WQ, and then like with static shiv, the wave's gone. It's just about surviving that power point. Like Ivern needs to slam bot lane. Katarina needs to sack mid lane. Like LSD's win con is pre-6 shenanigans.
That's fair. Yep. And that is the definition of difficult to execute. It is hard to execute a clean early game and convert that into a victory. It is something that we see many teams fail at doing before, even if they get the lead early. So we'll see. By the way, I think Lakers did win that game. Last
Gentlemen
I saw,
sweep.
they were up. Yep. Lakers did win the game, so now Denver's only up 3-1. So there's a chance. Hey, you know what? No one ever came back from being down 3-1s in final before, until the legend, LeBron James.
Yes, that's almost 40-year-old man who is still absolutely phenomenal.
Jerking off is crazy.
Like I'm telling you, if it was against a different team, I could see it. But like
Yeah,
Denver is a literal mountain to climb. They literally. It's like you say it's a tall task. It's a mile high.
That's fair. All right, let's get into the spectator lane. We got about a minute before we get into the game. We're gonna hit you guys with the 1-minute ad break from our sponsors while we get ready to launch this game.
Etoe's waiting
All
for
right.
Jason.
And by the way, I don't know if anyone knows my actual affiliation for what team I support. You understand my motivations for it. Let's go Lakers. Let's see it happen.
In my life, bro.
Let's go Lakers. Take out the Nuggets.
I hate Nuggets as much as the next guy.
I don't hate them. I respect them a lot. That's the point. If they could just happen to throw a series somehow in the greatest upset in NBA history, then the path to finals is that much easier. All right. Anyways, are you guys paused at 5?
Hold on, I'm like at an earlier 5 or a later 5 than you, so.
All right, I'm ready.
The 5 where we are looking at the blue side fountain.
Yep, I'm there now.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Y'all with me? 13, 14. Now let's get into game 3, our last and final game of the night, and the final game for this BTL season for one of these two teams. This is the knockout game. This is Gauntlet. This is win or go home. We have a 5-point start on both sides. Very, very interesting game here. This is the Draven game for Fish Guy 177, the Draven game to save the season. And we also got the Katarina game at the same time. Katarina, by the way, no flash. That's fair, but I haven't seen that a lot. But Ignite teleport from Katarina, that's some spice right there. I like it. I like it.
Secret tech if I've ever seen
Get the
it.
ghost.
By the way,
Nocturne.
also no teleport, of course, from Maria in the top lane because I guess has ultimate. So bringing Ignite in the top lane,
Minions
That's
have
weird.
spawned.
don't really see that very often either. So
I can see it because it's got
wants to
gank
kill
pressure,
him.
but man, yeah, she wants the smoke.
yeah, apparently wants the smoke versus Alawi. All right,
All people to want to smoke against.
yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah,
And
in my
I
opinion,
know this bot lane wants the smoke immediately. Like you said, pre-4, like these early levels, they want
Yes,
that
no.
smoke. They want the smoke heavy.
you have to assume
And
that
it's so
they're looking
interesting
at, like,
because they are not. yeah.
this actually might not be bad with the way they're waiting because it makes the minion wave awkward for a mantra Q. So I think if you don't get
This
hit by
is
the
so
mantra Q,
funny.
you're gonna
They're
save.
both waiting for each other.
They just have to watch for the mantra Q and they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fine. Okay. And we're gonna see Nocturne actually fighting Ivern over here at the blue buff.
Okay. Nocturne fighting Ivern early.
He's just gonna wrap it.
There is 2. And
No,
that's
he
going to
doesn't-
be the ghost from your back connection. And we're going to see the early gank top lane. That's why they brought Ignite. They're going to be ganking Toph here at level 2. This is level 2 gank. And that is going to be first blood going over to Black Fate. And that's why they brought Ignite in the top lane.
Not gonna lie, man. I thought Black Fate was accidentally
I
get,
thought
like.
Shin died there.
Well, he was trying to give Shin the kill for some reason. When I'm like, you're Nocturne, take it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Like
take
what? What? It's Shen. Yeah. What?
Because he stopped bothering, right? So like,
Uh-huh.
I feel like he did that. But I mean, a really good game plan. You realize that like, Malzahar gets the early push into Katarina, so then he kind of waited. Then he did like a loop around, which is really good. You also like stalled out Ivern pretty hard
Prabhu
because
continues
Ivern
to
did
go.
the type of base. Yeah, and like this is just Prabhu's chef weekend apparently.
Yeah. Early aggressing there from the Katarina, but it's still up against. Oh my God! If you're going up against Sweetwin, he's so aggressive. Like he will go for it. He will int for kills. Like he will just plays absurdly aggressive situations where I would never. Like just as like a mid laner, we're just completely opposing mid laners. He just plays so many assassins. I'm like, there's no way Katarina continues to fight this, but he goes in every single time. And I mean, I guess it works. It's the correct play. That's why I'm bad at assassins, and he's good at them, I guess.
Oh, we're gonna see another gank in the top lane.
Ooh, more.
It's gonna be Karma top here.
I mean, why not?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
3-6. If she's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
play-
it's Alawi. That's what Alawi does. Alawi shoves the lane. There's another kill in the top lane. Another kill going over to the Nocturne. And yeah, that's what they do. Meanwhile, they're trying to get an advantage in the bottom side of the map because you want to get the advantage that they're getting up there. You want to get that advantage onto Draven. Draven has a CS advantage here, but has not been able to secure a kill. Looks like Charybdis is very low over there behind the tower, but is also relatively safe. Not able to get anything from the Ivern, and never able to get anything mid as well yet. So far this early game, now we're at level 4. This early game has gone in favor of exactly what LSD wants. And once we get 6, I think the game kind of goes in favor of but not LSD. DPS,
Very curious to
the
watch
red
this
side,
move, though.
DPS.
Because it looks like Ivern's wanting to come in. They know Nocturne is here. You're going to see the Katarina roam over. Nocturne is still only level 3, has no flash. Yep, and
Yeah,
he just
there you go.
is not respecting this.
You want this on Draven. You want this on Draven. Okay.
No world.
I mean, Katarina is not.
I get it.
Yeah.
She has dark steel, but I just feel like you give it to Draven.
I mean, it's Draven. Like Draven, how many stacks does Draven has? Like Draven needs, it's Draven. Draven gets literally his passive
He
is for
literally gets more gold.
Yeah, literally gets more gold. Yeah.
And the thing is, too, is they're going to be looking to hold down Draven soon. So, like, in my opinion, if you're getting that free, like, early kill,
Yeah,
then,
it
like,
has to
you
go
want
to
to get him on
Draven.
Draven. Because
Yeah.
what if, like, you get the Nocturne Shin combo on him and he just loses his
Yeah,
battery?
it loses
It just
stacks,
sucks.
Phew. Well played there so far from Quegert, avoiding the death in this. I would have already died.
Katarina's actually got a killing goal right here.
You're correct. And
Called that
Katarina-
early, didn't
yeah,
I?
Yeah, this is well done right there. It's like Tony Romo. Good
saw
shit.
it. I saw it.
Oh.
Is it executed?
Oh, but it goes to
fine.
Malzahar gets the kill.
Must have been literally on the edge of 8
Yeah,
seconds. But I mean,
damn.
that's
That's
fantastic. from Malzahar.
crazy. Yeah, Malzahar's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not saying Malzahar would necessarily trade that any day of the week, but I mean, with the timing and stuff like that,
gonna
allows him to
see
push in the wave, gets in the grub.
Nocturne
It
on
helps.
the Nocturne on grubs now. Yeah.
Plus, a shutdown bonus 150 in his pocket.
Mm-hmm. We have ourselves a game here so far. Dead even.
Mm-hmm.
Katarina is 2-1. Katarina has 100% kill participation, or 100% of kills as well. Just all the kills.
Yep, and you're going to see Nocturne slowly trying to hit 6. You've got Shin already there.
Yeah,
And-
the 6s, they have to be where this game turns on a knife's edge whenever 6s hit. And yeah, they're just going to make sure that the Sivir can't really get to the CS, but Sivir just backs off there.
And that's what's so
Meantime,
good by
yeah.
DPS this game is like we were expecting to watch like LFB try to like gain the advantage and try to like snowball really
And
hard,
they have, yeah.
really.
They've tried, they've tried.
They've gotten a little bit, but
Yeah.
You see Nocturne with 2 kills, you got to shut down on like Malzahar, and this
Drake
is not
plays
bad.
up in the top side, like the aggression against the Illaoi early.
Oh yeah,
to
we're seeing
make sure,
we're gonna see
yeah.
this happening bot lane. The only problem though is that Fate is still not level 6. I think he gets it on Scuttle. Why won't it won't let me click him? Okay. Too zoomed out maybe. Yeah, he definitely gets it on Scuttle.
Okay.
So at this point, I think
And
like
that's
he's
level
just
6 for
really
Nocturne.
good.
And Quigger has ultimate.
Oh,
Rest
you
in
got Cat for
peace,
here.
Katarina. Yeah, are they able to? Oh, and the Draven uses ultimate. It's not going to work. There's the first ultimate from Black Fate onto the Katarina. Looking for more. Little help, but
Draven's
Draven
just
isn't
walking
there.
up.
Yeah. Draven isn't there. There's a teleport coming in from Shen as well now. Now the Shen is here.
You from Bard?
Just like gonna have to flash away. There is the taunt landing onto Dreadsline. Dreadsline's gonna try to get the even more here from DPS. Gonna force the flash out of Jixbox Hero, and yeah, that just goes all DPS there exactly to plan as they hit 6.
Yeah, honestly, man,
Draven doesn't do anything.
Katarina has that. He's gonna be looking for something a little cheeky here. Feels like he's strong enough to constantly hit them, but there are multiple people. You got Maria
yeah.
wrapping around, and Katarina with people low.
Oh, Katarina doesn't pick up the. Oh. Okay.
I think
Oh,
Draven-
what?
Draven gets the kill here.
Oh,
Draven
no.
does not get the kill.
Draven
No,
does
but
not get the
Katarina
kill,
does
but
get the
but
double,
Katarina.
triple, maybe.
Oh my goodness.
We're kiting.
Okay, so we're giving the money over to Katarina. One or the other. Draven is 0-1-4. This feels bad for a Draven main, but
Yeah,
yeah.
losing adoration stacks really sucks. Getting 3
yeah.
plates on your allow is great. All in all, LSD definitely got a lot back out of that. I think they needed to basically be a little bit more careful with the dragon. I think honestly, just winning the fight was fine. I think winning the fight, resetting, and then coming back to it and having the stalemate is good. I think trying to force the dragon a little bit too much, just first cloud. Honestly, getting that kind of gold lead with what they did earlier was fine. But now Katarina is extremely online. And the thing is, that
and this is a very aggressive Katarina play. I know I keep saying that, but it's always just like, because it just always like impresses me how aggressive he is, because it's insane to me, and it feels like it shouldn't work. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes we see that it's just straight int, but other times it's like,
I
oh
saw
my
that
god.
in the mid lane before that triple. So by all means, yeah.
Yeah.
Even the Malzahar, when like Nocturne is like literally in pixel, he is. He's a little bit aggressive.
Yep.
Oh.
Once again. Yeah. Yep. It's gonna do that. This is gonna do that. Like, yeah, sure. We'll keep getting the shutdowns onto Draven, onto Katarina, and then we'll just kill her.
And look at the gold lead.
Suddenly.
Yep. DPS has 1 dragon. They have 3 void grubs. They're taking 6 right now. They've got, only 700 gold behind, which is fantastic. When you've got, Alawi and the Shin, you have the Katarina, you have the Draven. The Katarina got 5 kills.
To get the grubs here. They're picking up the grubs here. And that's 5 grubs. So they denied the grubs. Draven has a lot of CS, but has not gotten any of the adoration stacks. Only up 1200 on Sivir, but probably should be more with an 0-1 and 4 Draven. The 4 assists, just not great, but yeah. Katarina just getting railed by this ultimate over and over again.
Yeah, it's actually really funny. I really like the Malzahar and the Nocturne answer to the Katarina. I honestly thought they were going to slam Draven with it, but the fact that it makes her, it plays onto his aggressiveness, it's fun to watch. And this is just the Sivir.
It almost seems like such a call out. Like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, play your Katarina. We know exactly how you're going to play it.
Mm-hmm. And it's just two good reactive drafts by DPS to get LSD to do what they want. Sivir doing her best to live. Oh, yeah, hidden in the bush. And you have Nocturne coming around. Again, the open aggression.
Oh my goodness, he's gonna get tilted. But this is what they're playing into yet again. Yeah, this is why. I mean, the money should have gone to Draven, man. The money should have went to Draven. Yeah. The money should have went to Draven. It's just not safe on Katarina. Katarina gets bullied out by this way too easily.
And it's hard to tell that sometimes.
Yeah.
Tigern actually get pretty cut out here without his flash.
Ooh.
Malzahar's also gonna
catch. Yeah, and Draven's gonna have to walk away. Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of weird that they're even there. Dragon's not even close to being up. Personally,
once again, if they could
do a little bit more, is at some point when it comes to sidelining, I think you run the Malzahar to match the Alawi, because Alawi shouldn't be able to get onto you, and you're able to just clear the waves. I think for right now they're wanting to definitely still abuse Sweet Wind, but I think at that point you swap it around, because it's going to be hard for Katarina to kill Shin in the long lane. It's going to be easy for Malzahar to push the lane fast.
Sweet Wind doesn't even have a gold advantage mid anymore. That is.
I mean, he died 2-3 times in a row.
Yeah. We go to advantage. Yeah. Blind picked the Katarina, and then just got wrecked with the response.
Yep, and you can't even blame him either, because to be honest, LSD did a pretty decent draft. I think lacking the go button. Not on Draven. Oh, it's not up.
Yeah.
Just beat the crap out of Karma.
Yeah.
I don't think that flash was necessary. I mean, the TP was necessary then. I think if Nocturnal was up, then yes. But since it wasn't,
Nocturnal it's about to be up, so along with Malzahar ulti, it's just another kill on Katarina potentially.
Yep, and they got this just right before Dragon as well.
Just the Rift would go over, but that's fine.
Maybe. I don't think Alawi and Ivern really kill it that fast. If DPS wants to answer, they can answer.
That's true.
Because you've got Shin ult coming up very shortly. You've got all your important ults. Yep, Draven's bot as well, so you're going to be lacking damage profile.
Oh well, that's.
Be careful about the Alawi.
Okay, but Alawi does get ulted, and Katarina gets in there, but there's the ultimate from Charybdis.
She's trying her hardest here, but it's unfortunate.
Oh my goodness.
Shut down.
Oh, here comes Dravenar.
Kills Nocturne.
Oh my goodness.
Down
oh
well.
My goodness.
That's
Draven gets a kill. Oh my god.
This is a lot.
Didn't see that coming. Yeah. Oh my god. Draven suddenly has almost had 3K.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah. Draven
oh my god, that auto attack.
Woo! If that stand aside hits, I don't think you're very comfortable.
Leave, though. I think he's overstayed his welcome.
Charybdis doesn't have ulti. I think
he literally had. If you thought his auto did more damage, then he gets IE on back.
Yeah.
Getting that shutdown, he gets IE on recall.
Yep. Draven's feeling okay.
Oh yeah, Draven's feeling great now. Like, because the thing is, they didn't, since they were attacking the Katarina so much, they didn't keep his adoration stacks low, and I think that they kind of left your bad connection on too much of an island. I really think that they could have just started slamming Draven, and then, for example, like, Draven doesn't get that turret, he's got less adoration stacks, he's got less farm. For
Yeah.
example, your bad connection would have it. I think they could have just kept slamming bot. Personally, I do think slamming mid is also good, but I do think they definitely missed out in a few ways, and we're gonna see this Draven damage coming out here. Only one auto, not too bad. Oh,
Okay, what they're
and
doing
here
for
comes
this.
the team
Okay, ultimate is on to Ivern.
fight. Not hitting Draven.
Is feeling okay. There's the ultimate onto Katarina, and they're gonna be able to get the kill. And yeah, Malzahar go down. Draven is is full health. Didn't get a kill, but did contribute some damage.
Yeah, I don't think jumping on Ivern is the play. I know you want to.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that. Okay, 2 autos from Draven is gonna have to Charybdis there.
And honestly, LSE's in a really, really good spot again, because I mean, you've got Draven exactly where you want him, and Sivir just doesn't have the damage. So right now, it could be LSD trying to get a snowball a gold advantage. They need to take one of your Drakes pretty soon, and then you just got to make sure that Draven doesn't get picked here.
Yeah, surprised the Nocturne only went onto Ivern. Probably not what you wanted, but I mean, it probably would have been tough if you have to CC Draven in some way.
I mean, because at least we can flash away.
Yeah, Draven was very comfortable, very, very comfortable.
He still has cleanse and flash and everything. It's risky, of course, when you want to kill one of the shield people, but they're going to probably get the shield off before death anyway. If you're still just getting hit by a Draven, who now shield is still full HP.
Next neutral check on the map spawns in about a little bit over a minute. It's going to be the dragon. The turrets right now are in favor of 3-0 in favor of large skill disparity.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I really would have liked to see Black Fate do is, since he got so much of like a snowball, right? Like, why do you need Cleaver specifically? Yes, it gives you tankiness, but it shreds armor. There's not too much armor to shred, but because you've got such an early gold value, I think he had the luxury to build the Serpent's Fang and could have just went Sparix afterwards. And then if he just jumps on Draven, they put those shields, it's immediately gone.
Ultimate committed as well here, going for the dive. Okay, that's gonna be the kill. Double kill going over to Nocturne, and Nocturne dies and goes to Karma.
I definitely don't think that was necessarily worth it. I think it's like you kill Katarina, you take the free drag.
Meanwhile, top side, I don't think the Lao doesn't get that turret, does she? I don't think she gets it, but she's definitely gets it low.
Demolish.
She probably gets it next time if she doesn't get it now. Oh, she may get it. Yeah, she doesn't quite get it now. She gets it low. Oh, maybe she thinks about it.
I would.
Oh, yeah.
And see, this is the problem about, like, Katarina like just came back up, but they could have already been 5 here at this dragon.
Oh, now top potentially in trouble. Malzahar ult this.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she has no magic resist yet.
Yep, she's dead.
And that's without ult, so they have flash and ult coming up. But again, they can give this Drake if they want to. It's not that big of a deal. They can also fight
Teleport coming in. They are going to fight it. There's the ultimate. There is the exhaust on Fish Guy. Maybe a little bit early. Now the exhaust is gone, but there is the killing spree from Rian. That should be definitely a 1-team fight there for DPS. Massive team fight.
Just get the dragon.
Okay, they are going to get the dragon as well, and they're preparing for Baron.
This is where like a really good use. Oh, is he gonna try to like solo kill Nocturne?
He can. I don't know. What?
Just knocked him back off of the dragon.
Yeah.
Which is very awkward, because then you could have been on Soul Point. I mean, Baron is definitely super valuable, but I just think Soul Point's really strong.
I'm like also looking at the map to see what Nocturne ended up doing the end. Nocturne
Yeah,
just got.
he's just
Wait.
watching Draven. He needs
Yeah.
to. He needs to be a Baron. Oh,
Okay,
there's
now
a-
he's there.
Yeah, but it's on
But
an
now
Alawi.
on Alawi and very low, very low.
That's a dead.
Super
that
low.
Now they can't
Like,
do
if
it. Now
they-
they
yeah.
just continue it. They just finished the Baron now.
Wait, LSD just finished the Baron. They leased Baron.
They could have just had Dragon for free.
They
And they
ran over to the
donated
Baron and
Baron.
they leased
Oh my-
Baron, and Nocturne didn't get there, and now they
No, no.
get neither. Oh wait, did they lose
probably
Dragon
the
as well?
Too. Yes, they do
Oh
right
my
now.
goodness, how did this happen?
I don't. What is that
Dude,
call?
this is NA. Welcome to NA.
But like, why Baron? Just
I
get
mean,
Dragon,
technically,
no
okay,
point.
like
I guess they think like they win the fight massively. They went to get the Baron, and then they tried to get both. They greeted for both, and they got neither, and they lost both.
The
Cause it-
thing is
cause
that the Baron play is not bad, right? Because you're up 2 dragons anyway. If they take the drag, it's fine, right? But Nocturne is just in the wrong place the entire time.
Yeah, because
Like,
even when
Nocturne's
Draven
there,
chased him off, he
yeah,
should have just
and
been
you
walking
leave.
up to Baron, and he could have walked to Baron in time.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I don't know what he was like looking for.
Wow.
Man, that's just it's just so bad for DPS.
Yeah, that's.
Because like they were in such a prime position, you know, Soul Point, you know, Baron would have still just been up, you know, there wouldn't have been any of like the gold snowball as well, because like the gold basically just bounced right back, and now they just have the Baron to push as well along with these shields, and like the Draven, it just it makes their comp hard again. Don't hold it, Harbu, don't hold it. Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're just again gets another kill. Alawi still has no MR.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was kind of surprised after the other solo kill that you don't just
Yeah.
grab MR though. Yeah, they lose an inhibitor turret from this. Oh, actually, not quite.
It's down. Grievous is going to go down. Is they lose the inhibitor? They do lose the inhibitor.
Stevie, is this arguably harder than like Mighty Throws have ever thrown?
From what
Because
I
we did
know,
have the 1500 AP Vagar game.
I think anything's ever beating the 1500 AP Vic or like
But... Okay.
allegation. Like, I'm sorry, like you guys have too many.
No, I figure,
You
but
guys
man,
had
like
that,
going
you
from
guys
like
had
Soul
Callisto
Point to like
Experiment.
Baron and losing Inhib is crazy.
I mean, yeah, low key. Yeah, okay, yeah. You know what? This is up there. This is up
Or
there.
at
with-
least the quickest, right?
this is up there with top 10 ways to lose the game. Peak Faker impression by Blackface, if you ask me.
It's not over. Okay, there's the ultimate on Draven.
Yeah, but he's alone.
Oh
He's
my
going to
goodness!
die.
Without the Sen ultimate, there the Sen ultimate ends up going on somebody else. Now Sen is there. Okay, they are able to kill the Alawi, but they trade. Okay, there are some low health bars here.
But Malzahar
Oh,
has no
but
ult.
the low health bar is not on Fish Guy.
Yeah, the biggest problem is just Sivers just doesn't have enough gold. That's why I would have liked to see them slam bot earlier, because she's still just on one completed item. Like right there, if she had Navori's or like Last Whisper or like Bloodthirster, like they all die. Like look how low they are. That bounce kills everybody.
Yeah. But traded 1 for 1. So I suppose you don't hate. At this point, Alawi is okay with dying and used to dying and is just going to die. It's like, all right, yeah.
See, this is the one thing I was worried about. Like in my head, right, DPS wins this game, but part of the problem is the champions that LSD chose. I feel like also goes into DPS's like worst habits, right? Like because like it's about diving too much, diving too hard, you know, not being able to follow up, like a nocturnal since it's a pretty lengthy engage. And like it's one of those things that it's just extremely difficult to pull off. I think like if they're going to be doing dives like that deep, you need the Shen to ult like before the Nocturne really does. Like, or at least,
Draven
like,
has
really early.
219 adoration stacks right now. Someone was asking how many adoration stacks he has. He does have a lot. He
Yep.
hasn't died in a while. He hasn't gotten a kill in a while. He only has 1 kill. I didn't even realize that. So Draven is actually behind for where he would like to be. Draven is waiting for a cash out.
But not as behind as the Sivir.
Oh yeah. He's in fact 4K ahead of Sivir. Draven is still the richest person on LSD.
It's just crazy to me still.
Yeah. Yeah, Javen is on 3 items compared to Sivir on 1.5. That is rough. They have super minions pushing into the mid. 2 of them have. Oh my god! That was one auto! That was that one auto?
That was one.
That was one auto.
This man is doing damage. This game just gets a little harder every single time. I mean, now granted, one small mistake from this Draven, and this game's basically over. Alright, Fish Guy needs to play perfectly here. No Malzahar ults, no nothing like that. Like, I mean,
he's playing aggressive. Oh,
Oh.
it barely doesn't get it touched by the Bard ulti. A game of inches right there, and
here
the
comes
dragon
Drag.
is spawned.
Yep, now they're up to 2 dragons, which
Dragon
really
spawn,
this should be their
and
first one.
And Baron is spawning soon after that.
Blue team slain the dragon.
We do see this Serpent's Fang coming out for the Nocturne though, so that should help a little bit of the burst. But basically, you kind of almost need the Bard ult to be able to like give them enough time, I think, to go in. I think you need an early Shin ult.
Desperately needs to kill. Adoration stacks also increases Draven's ultimate damage, right? He could snipe an ulti damage off of his ultimate, or at least makes it so he executes. Yeah, execution damage based off of how many stacks he has, right?
yes.
Draven ulti hurts.
Just a little bit.
Wow. So he'll execute under 262 right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah, that was an interesting addition that they added to Draven. Like,
I mean, that
interesting.
just
It's
shows
cool.
that, like, even though you did this comp to get onto Sweetwind, I mean, you gave them Draven. Just shut him down. Like, give him 2 or 3 more deaths.
Draven had that one time. Ultimates, something is being worked on. There it is, onto the Draven. Draven is getting the kill.
one's there.
Draven got the
No
kill.
one's
No
there.
one's there. Where it happened? I thought, what? Where's the Shen ultimate? Where's the Shen ulti?
Shin Diddle, he just died that fast. 'cause, like, no
Oh
one was there.
wow!
It takes time. He just
Damn.
after the
Oh,
shield.
they didn't.
I mean,
They didn't Bard ulti. No, yeah.
Part of it, honestly, I think that they were looking to go in, and Black Fate went in, and it wasn't time yet. You know, Sivir was halfway there. Malzahar was about to match the Alawi, and it looks like they're just going to lose their second inhibitor. Because I'm guaranteed they're just going to rotate right after this and get it. I do not like seeing Sivir this far out right now.
Nope. Sivir is trying to do something. Did get a couple of towers, and
Okay, it's
Alawi
kind
was
of
able
okay,
to
they
get the
would've-
tower.
They would have
But-
lost these 2 inhibs regardless, I think.
Yeah.
So it's kind of okay.
Well, Draven is very, very, very happy. Gets his second kill of the game, is now up to 13k. Now has 2870 in the bank.
Yep, has a full item on upon selling D-Blade. Honestly, this is the best time to fight.
This is true. And LSD don't want none of it. Certainly they don't. Yep. They're very happy with what they got. They're gonna take their victories, cut their losses, and go. Go
Yep,
home.
and they can come back with a Bloodthirster probably.
Yeah, if he comes back with the Blessed, yeah, that's tough. Got
Shield Bow, even harder to kill him.
Yep. Immortal Shield Bow.
Give Serpent's Fang more value, but again, like they need to find a way to kill this Draven without getting like just immediately murdered by Katarina. They need to do it while they have a numbers advantage. If Alawi's split pushing in another lane, they need to be able to just go ahead and interact with it and then answer the Alawi right afterward. I think the problem is they keep like engaging with the Alawi being in there, and again, like I said, it just goes back into DPS's worst tendencies of where they dive a little bit too deep.
What a banger of a game 3. Down 8 kills, but up 4k. 2 dragons to 2 dragons. Now with 2 inhibitors down for the team that is up 8 kills. The kills have just been more valuable on the side of LSD. And there is the engage. They're going to catch out Karma. Karma is going to go down. They do get the kill on Karma. But there
They
is
did
a lot
Dragon
of
Flash.
their engage. And it looks like Katarina is going to go down as well.
Now they're gonna lose their third inhibitor,
And,
though. Especially when they're chasing for
meanwhile-
an Ivern kill.
Meanwhile,
Alawi just running through.
Alawi just. Alright, they have an answer now. They have someone answered now. You certainly commit to this. If you're Alawi, right?
I don't know what Draven's
You
gonna
have to let the
accomplish
inhib go
here.
down. No, you gotta defend the Nexus turret. You can't care about Alawi here. You just defend the Nexus turrets. Well, actually, I mean, I guess you can kill her. No, you're good. You're good. You're fine.
Oh, he gets the inhibitor.
All sins
though.
are forgiven. Oh, he did get the inhib. Okay, I thought they saved the inhib somehow. I was like,
Oh,
Did
triple
not- they
inhib
did
down.
save
And
the
Drag
Nexus
is coming
Tower.
out.
Triple inhib down. Dragon is coming up. They did get the Baron. That's going to help them kind of push this out a little bit. But yeah, triple inhib is always so difficult. So many super minions just crashing into your base.
ironically, not the worst for DPS unless they take an absolutely awful fight. Because with how Sivir's behind, Sivir will collect all of that farm,
That's
and you're gonna quickly see like your bad connection go to like 400 CS. Because
Honestly,
honestly,
CS win condition.
yeah, if they get this dragon, they could just play in base all game until their inhibs are up, and all of a sudden you're gonna start seeing.
Woo! We got a triple Bard ulti into a huge taunt from the Shen, and that's going to be a massive team fight victory for DPS. Off of that Bard ulti, that was the engage that they were looking for. The Nocturne ulti, the Bard ulti lands onto 3, and they're able to trade 1 for 3, and that should be another dragon going over to DPS, and they have Malzahar's back and defend the base.
Yep, honestly, couldn't even go better for them. The fact that the fact that Black Fate made sure to take the Serpent's Fang is a huge difference maker in like how that played out, because basically they kept putting these shields, the shield bows popped, like all these shields were piling on Draven, they just all went away. And then not only that, but your bad connection also just realized that, like, you know, Draven was about to get 1 kill, maybe could have still like survived a bit, flashed over the wall, made sure to get enough damage throughout the whole team and on Draven to bring it back. And all of a sudden now he's got a shield bow, he also even has a Dirk as well, and like I mean, your bad connection is killing this game pretty well.
Yeah.
You've got full build already on Malzahar, you've got an almost full build on Shin, you've got a nearly full build on like Nocturne, and at this point they can kind of actually dive that deep, especially with the items that
So it's with the
Black
Bard
Fate-
ulti like that. Yeah.
I mean, Chase is just a beast.
They just have to get these inhibitors back down. But yeah, this is a lot of farm going onto the Sivir. And we're going to see LSD walk it down, but they don't really have, like, engage. I guess they, like... Find Bard. They ran into a Bard. There's a... Ulti is going to land onto Karma. Karma is okay with that. If I'm there, I'm like, all right, Bard ulti down. Meanwhile, Nocturne is pushing down mid.
Yeah, they
Inhibitors
definitely-
are respawning. And yeah, with Sivir and Malzahar, they have more than enough wave clear to deal with these minions. In fact, they're actually very okay with it.
I wish Nocturne opened up the base. I think he could have opened up the base and backed with the empowered. But to be fair to DPS, right, you do not want execution errors. This is the final game of your season, right? Like, these are the final moments. Both of these teams can literally win off of one team fight. You know, if DPS loses a single team fight or a member in a bad way, that's their base. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So DPS has to be locked the fuck in to win this game.
Very true.
This is it right here. Oh, these are the moments. These are moments. That's where you be shaking. I remember being in this situation before. Whenever we won the championship in BTL season 4, we had to play a one game, because at the time we didn't really have do tiebreaker, so we had to do a 1 game tiebreaker to determine our seed in playoffs. And when we would play playoffs, and if we had lost that game, we would have not have had our team on the day that we would have had to play. We would have definitely lost like semifinals. And it was 1 game, and it was a ridiculous game. The enemy team got a pentakill and then we barely won the game off of like 1 team fight that we ended up pushing and winning the game off of. But it was literally that. It was like make or miss league.
I mean, that's why the Gauntlet's fun.
Yeah, You have a chance to save the season. Chance win or go home.
Go big or go home. So it's all about.
One of the biggest things for DPS today in general has, like, of course, Black Fate, he taketh and he giveth. But by all means, he has absolutely stepped up today. Like,
Yes,
this
he has,
Saturday
to be
is
fair,
just by
yes.
far like his best gameplay like all season,
I would
and that's
agree
no
with
like front to him, but like I mean his stat lines have been absolutely impeccable.
They give him a lot of shit, but he's been playing very well today. Oh boy,
Oh,
there.
you gotta watch the Bard.
Oh boy.
Oh no. Okay,
mean,
Shin, I think
this
that'll
is
whip
kind
it.
of the way to. I mean, yeah. This is, you gotta be super careful walking. This is your season. If they get a pick off of that guy, could be the season. The last 8 weeks.
See that it's always weird, right? I'm always like, man, I don't like that recall, and I just remember that they've got Hex Gates, so they should be able to get to Dragon in time.
Dragon spawning in 30. Alawi still up here top side.
Let Alawi be top. Please don't try to pick her and use your ults. The idea of picking her is not terrible, but to me, you've used your ult to kill Draven. You've shown you can use your ult to kill Draven. Do it. Do it again. Do it as many times as it takes. If it takes you 6 times to win the game in 20 more minutes, so be it. But you have to win by that con. Black Fate has to ignore this top lane. He cannot care about it. Now, this is a fight that's going to probably break open the game.
It's
or
a
trade.
handshake. It's a handshake.
It's a
Dragon
handshake
or
right
yeah.
to DPS.
Dragon or Baron, they're going to try to also make sure that they take the inhibitor. Will Alawi be able to get the inhibitor in time? They destroy that Dragon, of course. Dragon is destroyed. Alawi's going for the inhibitor. They are going to be able to recall. They're going to slay Baron Nasher. They are, Toph is going for the inhibitor. There's the ultimate. And they get the inhibitor. Toph is able to get the inhibitor and then gives them a thumbs up because I've got what I was here for. I got what I came for.
I wouldn't even ult a
But-
single thing. There's no ult needed. Like, Alawi
Yeah,
was
yeah.
dying for that inhibitor.
Yeah.
Just kill him. I mean, maybe use Bard ult if you have to, but like the Nocturne ult needs to be up. Thankfully, it's like it's really far late game. At this point, it's almost already half up, so I guess it doesn't matter. But like losing the inhib there, not the end of the world. But if they can find a fight in this 30 seconds with Baron up, DPS will take the game and go on to Sunday. They got 75% on the Nocturne ult. They're going to be looking for it. They definitely should be making sure those minions are Baron empowered. I forgot the turret's not even down. Yeah, I think just pushing in here is fine. You got 10 seconds on the Alawi. Just make sure to watch out for the Alawi and just keep pushing.
Okay, they're going to get the inhibitor.
Has been destroyed.
Yep, rotate top.
Rotate top. Yeah.
Malzahar, no. No, just rotate top. Just go top. There's a huge wave top. Just go top. Stop dancing, go top. Top.
They're going for the bot outer
Okay,
turret.
that's fine too.
That's a safe bet. And
As
they're
long as
still
they're
gonna
doing
get top
something
as
and
well.
they get this one, yeah. So
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
this is fine. This is all fine.
Okay, they get a couple of turrets here. That's going to be
Waffling in the
bit
middle of the
more.
jungle and maybe not
Gold
doing
lead's
anything.
starting to not matter anymore at this point in the game, of course, though.
No,
Gold
good
lead
one's
doesn't
full
matter.
build.
Yeah, people full build doesn't matter.
Blue team's
2 Super Fangs too, by the way. Sivir also picks up a Super Fang.
Also, if just a fantastic pickup. In general, I thought it should go to Sivir anyway. I just thought it was great value for Nocturne because obviously he's going to apply it immediately. So just making sure it's applied through the Nocturnal and that, it's just pretty integral.
Yeah, I think at this point in general, this is not where LSD wants to be at this point of the game. I think this game going to this length is very much so in favor of DPS.
I think Shin should still just be pushing top though. I don't think there's any reason to be mid here. Like you have ult, like the whole combo is based off of your ult. I think you destroy the super minions that are now starting to stack because there's going to be 3 super minions top. So if DPS takes too long here, that technically there could be a double TP from Sweet Wind and Toph to win this game.
Oh Jesus. Okay. Shen does back up. The inhibitor is going to go down. Shen is topside with TP, of course.
Okay, yep. Okay, I don't blame them for not forcing it because, like I said, there was an angle that it gets very scary.
They're very happy with what they got. They play it safe. At this point in the game, you can play it safe. You have the stronger team comp. You have the scaling. If you're DPS, you can play this very safe. If you're LSD, I do not. This gets tough. You can't force fights against them really. You just kind of hope that they mess up their engage. That's where they got most of their advantage was off of, like Black Fate messes up an engage, but it's much harder to mess up the engage now whenever they're just so much tankier. Then the shields are going to be so much larger, and they have so much more damage. Their Sivir and their Mouse are online, and Katarina hasn't done anything in ages. By the way, Katarina has had 7 kills for like a very long time.
Yeah, it's just so difficult at this point in the game for Katarina to play. Katarina is pretty much just an accessory to Draven damage. She just tries to like reset and keep people low, and then just basically keep the gravy train rolling. If the gravy train is not rolling, then she doesn't really contribute much.
Sorry, I think it's so tough to play Katarina here, but it's like, yeah, it's almost working. It's a tough one. Ooh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is Alawi dying. Alawi dies here. And that's a pick for DPS. Alawi's dead for a minute. Oh, down the mid lane comes LSD, but the recall should definitely be there in time. They don't have ultimate. They don't have any. Okay, there is the ultimate landing onto Sweet Wind. Bard is going to get low here, but here's the ultimate from the Shen as well. There's the flashes. Fish Guy is trying to kite. Charybdis does go down. Daisy is in there. There's the ultimate. There's another Shen taunt on to Fish Guy. Fish Guy is going to get resurrected. And Fish Guy is against 3. That is 4 members of LSD down. That is a 1-4-4 in favor of DPS. The Alawi did respawn, but it is Alawi and Dreadsline against the world for their season. Here come DPS. Your back connection is at full health. Here comes the ultimate. There go down the Nexus Towers. Alawi is trying to walk in. Alawi is going to get CC'd and is going to go down. It is now just the Dreadsline, and that is the tower, and that is the GGs in the town. That's going to be DPS taking game 3 and advancing to Sunday. DPS continue their gauntlet. Continue the gauntlet. Continue to run the gauntlet. Another victory, a hard-fought victory here in the final, in the head, in a nail-biter of a game, a 43-minute game where they were ahead by 20 kills. But it didn't really feel like that. It didn't at all feel like that. That game felt like it could have gone anyway for a long time there. What say you guys here? There it is.
It would be because like the Bard was really like integral that game. The Bard was phenomenal, took Katarina out of the fight, made it so basically Draven had to fight everyone while Katarina was just desperately doing it. But like, like was the Zac really like the difference in game 2? Or was it like the Talia constantly going around, the sheer map control? And this whole team comp was based off of like the Nocturne diving in. He made sure to get Serpent Fang, like in like I'd say a lot of the questionable decisions, like besides like the one egregious like Baron for Dragon Flip. It was just miscued and very greedy by DPS. And like, I can blame Prabhu for not being at Baron, but it also seemed like it was a team call to be greedy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Most damage in the game there being done by Malzahar. I think that's expected. We saw Malzahar just doing absolute ridiculous amounts of damage there, especially in the side lane versus the Alawi. I think that was huge for them, being able to kill the Alawi. The Alawi ended up being 0-10, and I think a large part of that is from the Malzahar. And Draven tried. Draven at 36,000 damage, but is going to be behind the 44,000 damage from the Malzahar. And a great team effort there. The scaling was definitely in favor of DPS, and we did see that that came to fruition in the end. Who is our MVP?
What do you want to give it to in Defiance?
The thing is like, right, I think other people had like decent. I mean, game 1 was kind of like a stomp in LFD's favor. Right, but like the thing is, if you look at the stat lines and if you look at the impact, I think that Black Fate, right, just having a really good weekend and a really good like, like of course he made his mistakes here and there. But the thing is, it's just he had such a great weekend, had such great control. He's got 30 kill participation out of like 36. even though most of it, like obviously, was spread around the team. Like I think they I basically think that today they lived and died by Black Fate's gameplay as well as their team play. But like the fact that he snowballed, the fact that he stepped up, the fact that he played multiple different champions today, including carry ones where like you really have to make sure to watch what you do, keep your snowball going, and he generally kept his deaths low and his participation high. To me, I think I just have to give it to Black Fate.
That's
Yeah,
so true.
I'll
We
agree
did
with
just
you,
talk to
yeah.
him 3 hours ago. And then we bring him in again.
We can bring in a second person along with them.
I mean, we could also bring in a losing squad.
I think Craig. Oh, do we get the losing squad as well? Did we not talk to him again?
Yeah, we could. I mean, shit.
Let's see. We can do both. What to bring in? Do we bring in Prabhu or do we bring in Craig? I was thinking Craig also had a really good series this one. I think the Cassiopeia game and the Malzahar game are both huge.
I mean, I said my vote. So for me,
Yeah.
I'm either Prabhu or both.
We can bring Prabhu and then bring in the loser.
Alright,
Probably
let's
because you're good, he gets two.
let's bring in Prabhu, I guess, again. We're gonna give him 2. I'm gonna give him 2. He gets 2. He's,
I think it's fair, too.
like how often? Oh, I brought him to the wrong chat. How often do we get Prabhu here on the desk, huh?
We never get Prabhu.
Like
on the
never.
Not only that, but jungle diff. Honestly, just gonna say today he brought the jungle diff.
07 soldiers. I try my best.
Can't believe
Is he
it.
muted?
Is he muted? Is he muted for you? I hear him.
No, he's,
Is he-
Wait, what?
no,
What?
he's muted for me because he had like an airplane going on during like a random draft game.
okay.
Sounds about right.
Sounds
Yeah,
about-
that
sounds
that
about
facts.
right.
That checks out. That checks
Probably
out.
had me muted last time.
True.
Definitely
Who
great
can't
team
hear?
player.
Wait, who can you not
Probably.
hear? Who can you not hear?
Who, me?
What?
Is it Prabhu?
Probably.
Wait, I'm here, right?
Well,
That's
like
right.
David's saying that we can't hear. Well, you are all so quiet. Really?
Oh, our audio, the stream audio slow? Wait, hold on, let me check.
I have it as max as I can on my side. So we can eat. Begin so we can eat finally. All right, okay. What do you guys ask questions you have for Prabhu, and then we'll get some from Let's Go Disparity.
Probably. What did you eat today? Besides the soul to the enemy team.
I won't lie. Dude, I won't lie. I don't remember. Hold on, let me think. Oh, dude, I went to hang out with my friend. So I live in Brooklyn. Right? Oh, this is gonna be a long story. I live in Brooklyn, right?
Bro.
And me and my friend, like she lives in Boston. She pulled up and she was like, "Yo, like I've never been to Brooklyn. We should go somewhere." I was like, "You know what? Let's go to downtown." So we went to downtown. We found this like food market, and then in the food market they just had a bunch of food. And I think today I had arepas, and I almost had empanadas, but I didn't have empanadas. I ate something else though. Oh, I had some like bomb dumplings, and then I think I ate something else, but I kind of forget now. Now that I'm on the spot. I had some fried chicken, some leftover fried chicken.
Damn, probably
And
fed
then
in
my
real life and
dad-
in game.
Dude, and then my dad, like, he made me some, like, slow-cooked lamb, and then gave it to me this morning, which is another whole side mission / story. And I tried to eat some of that, but my thing is, so I'm Sri Lankan, right? And my dad, he be making some spicy-ass food. So I took one bite of it,
All right,
and
bro. All right, we gotta get to the game. Get to the game. Gameplay. We trying to talk to other people
that's
too.
not fair.
He didn't ask. That's true. Don't make me regret it.
And I'm answering. Okay. All right.
No.
All right, you're right though. You're right. All right. My bad. But yeah, that's what I ate. Yeah.
I get
And-
it. Great food, get fed.
Yes, sir.
Good game plan. Where's Quigert?
That's my boy, by
Alright,
the way. Dude.
Prabhu,
He
I
right
want to
there.
know, Mr. Blackface, what was the call like during that Baron?
Oh, that
you
was
were
me
hovering the
trolling
Draven?
300%. That was me
That was
trolling.
you
That was you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Whole team was like, go Baron. The normal part of me said go Baron, but then the ego part of me was like, we can get both. And then I got kind of scared. I saw Draven walking towards me, like Dio from JoJo, like with the whole like side effect. If anybody knows what I'm talking about.
No,
Yeah,
I
was like,
you were
I was like,
lining up
hmm.
like that kind of fight, dude.
I was like,
Once again,
bro.
it was like a Dio versus JoJo. That was more of like Dio versus throwaway extra number 2.
Dude, like he was walking to the dragon like he's Dio. Like I see him on the ward, and in my head I'm like, I could totally try to kill him right now, but nah, I'm a chicken, so then I ran away. But I think maybe I could have tried to kill him, and maybe it would have went different. But I think overall, I definitely should have just followed my team to Baron. I was trolling. I was a troll. Yeah.
Oh, dude, we tried to give you the benefit of the doubt, saying that, oh, that was probably the team call, not him trolling. We literally tried to say, probably was probably told to try and get the dragon and instead of going Baron. That's crazy.
I swear to you, I'm a monkey when I play this game. My team is the only reason I've gotten this far. They make the macro calls, bro. I just follow my P brain, and they lead me to victory. All right, I'm not some big. I don't do anything. It's all my girl Chase, my girl Maria, my boy. Who's my ADC? Oh yeah, David.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Wait, I'm tired. I'm tired, bro. It's midnight. I usually sleep at 10 p.m. You know.
Is crazy.
I forgot. My bad. I just brain fart. But it's David. I know it's David. My boy carrying us with the drafts, bro.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I agree with all of those statements, but you have to admit you had a good Saturday.
Oh yeah, no. Today was a good day, dog. Today was a good
day. Today was like that day when you win like 10 games in a row.
All right, we're going to get someone from Large Scale Disparity as well after we're done with Prabhu.
Good job, Prabhu.
So,
yes, sir. Thank you.
Prabhu. Yeah, good stuff, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Who's the next up on the chopping on the board here? Who's the next challenger?
Me?
Is it Mighty Throws? All right, it's in Defiance. All right. Well, he got to see how you played today, so you're gonna have a little bit more of a challenge tomorrow. Your next jungle opponent will be in Defiance. Good luck with that.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see you probably.
Bye.
And then let's bring Sweetwind. Sweetwind is the representative.
Yo.
He has
Hello.
You have an entry music.
Money game.
Fantastic. I love it. Was it you? Didn't you used to be a DJ? I'd be telling people that. And I was like, actually, and then I'm like, I feel like I vaguely remember that. And I was like, is that real? Was that like a fever dream? I think he used to be a DJ.
I DJ'd for weddings for like 2.5 years.
Yeah, that's yep. Sounded. Yeah, I was like, yeah, that man's he's a DJ.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, that's why I'm asking, like, if you want to come and talk about it, I know that's a rough one, man. That was crazy, absolutely crazy. But in the end, it was. I feel like, it was a great series from our perspective. I'm not sure if you guys had fun or if it was more. I don't know if it was more tilting or more fun.
Well, game 2 sucked. I did not get to play the game. I don't know if you watched what they did to me, but I did not get to play the video game for like 20 minutes.
It almost looked like it was about to be like that in game 3 too, as well. I was like, oh my god, this Nocturne, this Malzahar ultimate into Nocturne ultimate combo has got to be so tilting. Like,
with
oh
Bard
my
hiding
god.
in like the raptor pit behind.
Yeah,
him.
and Bard being there
movie.
too. Yeah, yep.
Yeah. But I think. I don't know. Last game wasn't so bad. I think we actually could have probably pulled that off, but
100%, yeah.
Had we just hit a point where it was like we basically had to counter by like full stacking as 5. There was like no way we could split other than having Alawi. She's the only one who can ever split, right?
And then Malzahar was taking care of her as well.
Yeah. So, but really what ended up happening was we got the 3 inhibs, and then we were pushing to get for Baron, but we ended up taking a bad fight and we lose Baron off that, and that like completely stopped us in our tracks because we can't really push up. At that point we were strong, but not strong enough to just push into them and try to end anyways, which sucked. But we ended up just falling behind in XP and gold off of the inhibs, and
some point, that's what Indefiance was saying. Like, that's like the triple inhib could actually end up being a positive for DPS because they have the wave clear in Sivir and Malzahar to clear that, and actually Sivir gets back into the game off of that.
Yeah, because Sivir was so out of the game. Like, I swear, when you guys had triple inhib, I think she had Kraken Slayer and a BF sword, and then like a couple of bad fights happened, and then like all of those like inhibitor minions just kept piling in, and then she had the same amount of like items as Draven.
Yeah. If we got the Baron and we just walk in with the 3 inhibs, that game kind of just ends, I think. But it is what it is.
I have a question for the first kill of the game. Whenever you guys invaded over there by the blue and you got that kill, was there a call to give that kill to Draven? Was there the call to give that kill to you? Because I was shouting, give it to Draven, and then it went to you, and I was like, oh, the Draven stacks! And I was like, certainly any Draven main would be like, oh, my stacks!
Shane Fish Guy dropped his axe.
Oh.
So he probably would have gotten the kill,
Ah.
but he said he dropped his axe. I had just walked over passive and then kind of got to it,
Yeah.
but there was a call. Uh, our support was like, "Give it to Draven, give it to Draven." And
Yeah, I
was
can
like,
imagine.
No, I want it.
Yeah,
But
I can
he
imagine.
also
I was thinking,
hated
I
it.
imagine.
Katarina
It's
is
like
not
I
awful,
played
but-
with them on the team. I can imagine that the call was to give that kill to Draven. I heard it. I heard it when that happened. But yeah. Okay, I mean, Draven ended up getting only like, there was a long time Draven only had 1 kill and then get like 2 kills, was really farmed, and on end of the game with only 3 kills. You guys at some point were down like 10 kills, but still up on go because you had like a ton of towers. It was like a really interesting game. I wonder if you guys saw the mistake that happened, like if you recognize how big of a macro mistake DPS made whenever they like won a fight by Dragon and then only Draven was left on the map, and then they went to get Baron, but Nocturne stayed at the Dragon, and then Draven, like, I don't know, bullied him off of. The camera wasn't on there, so I don't even know why Nocturne like didn't. I don't know what was it like. I saw them running around like by each other in the bottom side of the map. I didn't know what happened. Did Shane just like intimidate Nocturne off of the Dragon, and then they ended up being too slow to do the Baron, and then everything just fell apart there. You guys ended up getting both the Baron and the Dragon. Was that like a turning point in the game for you guys? Or like, oh wait a second, I think we win this shit. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because they all rushed Baron, which
Except
I
for
don't think
one.
is the wrong call. I think maybe take Dragon Go Baron, because I think as a 5 stack they were in a position to still be able to fight us if we try to walk into them.
Yep.
But Nocturne had just used R, and to be frank, by that point, Fish Guy on Draven was really, really strong.
Yep.
He could have easily just taken the Nocturne if he tried to fight him, especially with Dragon there. So it was just like, we just made the call, like, walk at him. Like, there's no reason he should be able to do that. And then they can't do Baron without their jungler, and then they couldn't do Baron. So that was really it.
Yeah, and you guys ended up getting that Dragon and that Baron, and I think that was a massive push. At that point, I was like, oh my god, I think they may actually win this game, because it seemed like the enemy team comp was just outscaling you guys. Like at some point, like it was going to be very difficult if that game if you didn't snowball early, and you were kind of snowballing early, but then they like killed you 3 times in a row with that combo, and I was like, oh no, it's back and
Well,
forth.
the real issue, like scaling or not, the real issue is just that we can't ever 1-3-1 in them. So Katarina really likes side laning. She likes skirmishes and isolated fights. It's really hard to deal with her if she gets ahead, even as Malzahar. But with a Nocturne Shen, there's no way I can ever go into a side lane ever. I mean, I literally went to tier 1 bottom side and got ulted under the turret. Like we knew. I was thinking, because our support was roaming down, and I'm like, I'm not going on him here. There's definitely a Nocturne in the area. And then I was sitting in a turn. I walked to get a dagger, and then he just ulted from the bush. I was like, oh, he's already here. Okay, that's my bad. But yeah, that was basically, we just never get to side lane, which unfortunately put us behind in levels in the long run. But
yeah, the drafts were very good. I think from DPS that was a solid draft. Game 2 I think was much rougher. I was more happy with how the drafts ended up on both sides. You guys got some of the champs you won. Game 2 seemed very rough, seemed like a big draft diff. In Game 1, then you guys snowballed very heavily. I did not know you played Etoe. That was a huge game there. I was like, oh, Etoe, okay, all right. Got banned the rest of the series, but hey, pulled it out.
I think Game 2 you guys kind of like pivoted a little bit more from your identity a little bit too much, and then Game 3 was just like 2 like kind of brawling drafts that like like the DPS worked on very hard to specifically seem to like shut down your Katarina. Like it literally seemed kind of like an anti-Katarina comp almost.
honestly, Game 2 was a lot harder just because of the Braum pick. That was Braum. Every time we've gone up against Braum this season, we've been like, we really should have banned Braum. That character just stops us from being able to play the game in a lot of scenarios, especially with what we had.
Fair enough. Well, this is also your guys' first time, not unilaterally, not one, but like the first time for all of you guys, at least in the past like 4 years, I think 4 or 5 years. What do you guys think of your experience in DPS? How was it? What you guys in BTL? I should say your experience in BTL compared to what you expected. Would you play again? Like how was this overall for y'all?
I'd like to play again. I think it will see, because I know some of our members don't want to play League, so I'm not gonna force them to play League. I think this next time.
Yeah.
but
The league
if they want to
sucks.
play, they can. We'll just kind of see. I'd like to get a team together and play again. I think it was a lot of fun. Uh, but yeah, it was good. It was a fun season. I think we could have done more, but
Mhm.
I'm not mad at the games that we did play. There were some kind of fumbles during the mid-season. Definitely, I think we started to kind of get back into it here towards the end, but
Mhm.
just not enough time to really keep going. I think. All in all, not bad. I think the BTL as a whole has definitely leveled up way more than I remembered it being. So that was super jarring. I think I said
Yeah.
something like that last week, but still, really, I was not. We were not ready for that.
Yeah.
But all in all, I guess it was a lot of fun playing all the different teams. Hope everyone had fun playing us, and good luck to those still in it.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think that's fair. I think it was fun to have you guys. I'm really glad that you guys decided to do this. And yeah, even whenever you guys first, even whenever you guys first signed up, I was just like, oh man, I think about how long it's been since I played competitive, and I knew that if I was to sign up for BTL, I'd get demolished. I was like, okay, I hope you guys know this is a little bit different, but I was like, okay, that's why I put you guys. But I was like, I had faith. I was like, okay, you guys, if you guys take it serious, and if you have them playing a lot more than I have, then maybe you have a chance. But I was like, it's probably a little bit different than you last remember. Whenever Plat was like high elo, and now Plat's like literally low elo. So cool. Well, I'm glad you guys had fun, and that's all we had. Let's.
You
We
definitely have more
have.
to keep around. Because it's more fun when there's just these random veterans who just come together and then just make up these weird mixed up teams from
Yeah, we have a
all the
lot.
different seasons. And I think that's why sometimes the games just feel harder because there's just a lot of people who just played BTL now, and then some people know each other in certain ways and get used to certain metas. So I mean, I think it's fun. I hope to see a lot of you guys back.
Hoping to come back. Also, just so everyone knows, we're rooting for Cat Cowboys.
Everybody
Yeah,
seems to be
That's the
rooting for Cat
second
Cowboys.
team. Frost Lion
How
said
are
the
you
same
not
thing.
rooting for
Another-
Cat Cowboys?
That's another endorsement to the most mid team of all time. Oh,
That's
no,
crazy.
Never mind. That goes to KLS.
No,
my
Cat
bad.
Cowboys upgrading with their new jungler. I believe in them fully.
Yeah, I believe in. Yeah, see, I told you. I'm telling you, my power rankings will prove victorious. Now that DPS has gotten through, they will have Mr. Krabs tomorrow, most likely. They are a top 3 team at least. Okay. Not even
Honestly,
top
whenever
one.
I saw you put DPS today, I was like, "You're insane. You're
I'm not.
insane."
No,
But
I'm not insane. I'm cooking. Okay.
yeah, it's your cookie with something. for sure.
Unfortunately,
Slow cooker. You got the slow cooker over here.
Unfortunately, DDRD is better than Black Faith in every way, shape, and form. And I don't want. So, but I'm cooking. You guys are just upset that it's real.
Okay, I mean, hey, so far, DPS. Hey, I would say DPS came into today prepared as fuck for every
yeah.
single series, man.
You don't even know, man. You don't even know
Came
how
They
in-
many.
had a spreadsheet.
Yeah, they have a
yeah,
spreadsheet
yeah.
for they.
Got a whole Google
he's-
Doc, bro.
Yeah, they have a whole ass Google Doc for you guys.
Yo,
And
can
then-
I see the doc?
That's the
Bro,
same thing. That's the same
DPS
thing
don't
Frost
want to
Lions
know.
asked. That's the
Bro,
same
you
thing
don't
Frost
want to see
Lions
the
asked.
doc. I don't know. I'm
That's-
telling you. You
yeah,
don't
Frost
wanna
Lions
see
like,
the
wait, can we
I
see the
for
doc?
sure want to see the doc. I need to know.
Your bad connection, I believe, is the author. If I was to guess, I imagine it's
Oh,
him. The doc there. So that's so funny. I was
Not
like, yeah.
gonna-
I'm adding him.
oh.
Yeah, Frost Lions wanted to see the doc. Like, wait, can we see that? Now that we're out of the tournament, can I see the doc?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all that we have for tonight. A great series to end on. A great game to end on. I think DPS amazing, leveled up. Like I said, playoff DPS. We've seen DPS do this before. This is not the first time they've gone from day one. They've once gone from day one of the Gauntlet all the way to finals. So they made it through they played 3 games in Gauntlet, and then they played through the semifinals, and they made it all the way to finals. This is not the first time we've seen DPS. They went from a 6th seed to the finals before. So playoff DPS, year back connection. They're the preparation for playoffs. That's what we like to see, and they're showing that they can do it. They're trying to run the Gauntlet yet again. We'll see if they can keep the dream alive tomorrow against Indefiance's team, which will be the Mighty Throws, who will be the one to make the Mighty Throws. And yeah, we'll be live tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST.
Spoiler, dude. Spoiler. Okay. It's obviously gonna go to game 3. It's gonna get very tragic, and then we're gonna show them what a real throw looks like. You think that dragon for Baron and then just giving away both was bad? Just you wait.
Yeah.
We got something cooking.
Oh, we'll be back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST. In the meantime, we're going to raid Silent K, who raided us earlier. was watching a bit of the game. So yeah, gonna throw it over to Silent K, and we will see you guys here tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST. Thank you for coming in the booth. Thank you for helping me cast today. Thank you for being willing to come and talk to us, Sweetwin. And we will see you guys, catch you guys around whenever I hit this button, and we're good to go now.